lawful good again. I can't wait for it.
Creed, limits of lawful good? What?
Yes, actually.
They're coming, everyone. It's time
Uh,
once
I, I
more.
was I was pretty sunken cost fallacy trying to murder some bards last time, so
Yeah. It's there were some definite fallacies happening last session.
yeah,
Welcome,
the fallacy
Gigi.
was they
Nice
lived
to
without
see
getting
you.
away.
I
Of
was here for a bit, but then I had to do closing stuff, so I had to go.
So let's go ahead and step into the situation we found ourselves today. Welcome again to another session of Beyond Etheria Ashes, where we are currently in episode 36, known as The Tower. The idea here is that our heroes last session, after finding Tristan, who is too young to go bald, but that's the breaks kid, in the mayor's office trying to talk his way into a contract with the mayor, being found out that he was the one that caused this issue that the party has been dealing with after trying to mercilessly murder some bars that they had blamed for the beginning of it, then finding the dwarven thieves that had actually broke into it, and then finally finding Tristan. They began to question him as he broke down in front of them, realizing that they are indeed friends of Clem, who, in this case, is his boss, the man he stole the grimoire from. As they began to question him outside the mayor's office, a large boudoir came out of the wood line, animated beyond recognition, ran towards the group, firing long, living coils of rope out towards the legs of Tristan and dragging him into the woods with it, as it ran back towards the, well, where it came from, to put it in simple terms. And so, where we are today is the party has now decided they wish to go after the tower and make their way into it to deal with the situation at hand, turn off the mist, and try to settle the animated apocalypse that has befallen this town so they can continue forward on their original objective. The few things that they were told by Tristan before he was taken away was that, one, there was a service entrance that they used to get into it the first time. That was crushed by something that woke up inside the tower. What it was, he could not tell you. All he could tell you is that it was big, it was angry, and it wanted them to never come back. The second thing he said is that the front entrance is heavily guarded by other animated objects. Therefore, it is going to be difficult to push through. If you do, you're looking at a fight on your hands, as that is where a majority of these objects are going to be, as they are meant to defend the tower and recover the stolen goods. The third entrance, he said, was near a cassowary sanctuary that was created by Mr. Clem himself. When he first started it, it was about 3 to 4 cassowaries, and now you're looking at the numbers of 300-ish cassowaries living in the sanctuary that surrounds the cavern entrance, leading to the basement of the tower, where the generator of this magical fog sits, according to Tristan, and what knowledge he has of the tower that his boss owns. So, the party now sits
Okay,
here.
I'm not crazy, am I? You've been saying cassowaries instead of cockatrices.
I know.
He's been
They're
saying cassowaries.
cassowaries.
Okay. I was very confused for a moment.
No, it's as much as I love the idea of cockatrices, they're cassowaries.
Okay,
Because it's
fair.
way funnier.
What about cockatrices? Why does Grim hate us? No, thank
No,
you.
it's not cockatrices anymore, they're cassowaries, apparently.
Oh,
Which is equally as dangerous because cassowaries are fucking mean.
But the only
playing with
real difference
birds.
is instead of getting petrified, you're just going to get beat to death.
Yep. Basically, instead of large angry roosters, they're going to be the crazy velociraptors from New Zealand.
The very ones that the Australian army itself couldn't beat.
Those are emus.
No, it was both.
No, they
Oh,
had a
they
war
went
against
to war against...
cassowaries and a war against emus.
Wait, hang on a second. No, they
They
didn't.
failed both, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
They failed their charge roll twice. It was terrible. Double ones every time.
I know
You hate
about
to see it.
I'm only seeing things about the emu war.
That's because it was even more shameful about what happened with the cassowaries, because emus are at least bigger.
Yeah. So
To be fair, like, I understand the meme, but like,
Seth has brought up a very specific turn of phrase that he wanted to clear up, is that he believes that Rex has said peckerified. Peckerified. Which I don't know which is more terrifying, petrified or peckerified. Now I'm scared, and I'm not even a player in this game. I'm the one running the story.
What? Why are we getting petrified?
I don't know. That's what Seth brought up.
Seth?
Either way, a cassowary sanctuary surrounds the cavern entrance that leads to the basement of the tower where the mist generator sits. This was done because of the fact that Clem decided to rebuild their population as though he may not seem he is a philanthropist when it comes to the natural cycle of things because it makes things easier. But also they became natural guard dogs, killing and eating anything that came within their pen lines. So it made for an easy trade. Tristan talked about how he hated feeding them because he's been pecked and cut in his hands and legs more than enough times to despise their very existence. And so, you were left with those three options, or two options to be specific, as you all stand near the mayor's office, including Jenna, who has now come out of the haberdashery haversack. As you all kind of stare down the road into the fog where the boudoir ran off with Tristan in a coil of living wires and ropes.
It's the name of the burlap bag Akros carries you around in.
Oh. Because I'm always asleep. Okay.
Would you have rather been left as a captive in Ares' companionship?
No. I just didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was.
Very good. And so that is where we are. Now, because you saw the boudoir run off, you can now have a better understanding of where the tower is. So you have a better bearing on where to get there and how to get there. You were told that it is a few miles north, but that was about all they gave you. But now the boudoir essentially will lead you directly back to the tower itself.
Question.
Uh-huh.
Can I big burb and fly off in the direction it came from? Like, obviously, I would probably have to ask my compatriots what direction that was because I was sleeping. But
I mean, yes, if you wish to big bird and fly off in that direction that they point out to you, that's something you can easily do. Being a druid, you can big bird.
I'm going to run it past my compatriots first to see if they think it's a good idea to big burb. Hey, compatriots, do you think big burb good idea? And I will go in the direction that the item has run once you tell me what the direction is. Okay, boys, don't all speak at once.
I don't think it's a bad idea. And at the same time, I'm just kicking the ground going, damn it, my wall didn't stop it.
Yes, very sad.
Yes, it went in that direction. Being an eagle would probably be a good idea.
Scout Eagle, go, I think is the general consensus here.
more or less.
Okay, Scout Eagle will go.
That is a red-tailed hawk sound, don't you lie to me.
I didn't play it.
I know you didn't.
One
They knew who I'm
last
talking to.
battle, one final fight. No force forever.
Okay.
Freedom never dies.
Or a
Hold
big
on.
burb and
I-
fly away.
So, hold
Damn
on.
it, Seth.
Alright, so, Jenna, you big eagle easily, and you start flying off in the direction of the boudoir. It's relatively easy for you to catch up to it, as though it can move about the same speed as Rexus. You move faster when you're flying. So you're able to catch up to it as you see this massive 10-foot tall wooden object essentially sprinting through the woods. It's pretty easy to tell what the fuck it is. It's it's pretty obvious. I would imagine that even with a low perception roll, you'd be able to tell this is an animated boudoir.
You want me to roll perception?
You know what? Now that you asked, go for it. Because I wasn't going to have you do it.
19.
You can tell it's a boudoir, and it is running the fuck away from you. The rest of you see the Scout Eagle take off of Miss Aura, and she just goes, and you can kind of follow her by looking through the fog and up, kind of seeing her large silhouette as her giant eagle against the sun rays coming in. What do?
I'm still following it.
Well, I know you're following. I'm talking about the rest of the people who aren't giant eagles.
All right, big yawn. I really don't. I don't have anything better than just continue to follow this thing through the woods and hope for the best. Someone has a better plan. You're welcome to share.
No, I'm just gonna sling Lucifer on my back to try and run to keep up, since I know Lucifer won't keep pace.
Very good.
You need to give him a really big wheel.
Turn him into a unicycle. A uniturret. There you go.
Put backpack traps on him.
Yeah. Turn him into a claptrap. Make it happen.
Honestly, that's exactly what I was just thinking for a second.
I'm just gonna shut my mouth on that one because my
Hello,
brain-
future victim.
All right. Thank you, Carson, for the 69 bits. Her happy Friday fun fact is one person dies every 33 seconds from cardiovascular disease. Check yourselves and take care of your thumps.
How much after a thump was? I think I put context together.
All right. So, if all of you are keeping pace, you can easily start moving through the woodline and following behind the giant eagle. As you begin following the eagle down the woodline leading north towards the tower itself, you can see the silhouette of it begin to rise out of the woods. You can see that it's not a very tall tower. It seems kind of wide and long. And as you get a little bit closer, you realize where exactly it's placed and why it's such a pain to get to it. Because you can tell that the tower itself is not just on a, well, where's my, do I have my, there it is. Thank you, Owlbear, for letting me do that. It is not on a normal precipice. It is on a cliff. And here, all of you are at the edge of it, simply looking down the way. Or, I don't know, you're over here. There you go. You're eagle-fied.
What's with the horned undead giant?
Shut up.
Okay.
On the bridge itself, you see leading across from it is about 50 or 60 feet of just stone carved into this cliffside. You can see that there are many of these mundane objects that you had fought before sitting across it, including some barrels that seem to be colored green in nature. This icky green smoke kind of coming out of their creases as they just kind of sit and roll back and forth, just waiting for something to happen. You see hat racks and chests kind of sitting along it, moving independently. You see pitchforks running up and down. You see almost broomsticks being used as makeshift longbows as they're having these thick strings put between them and sitting as with forks and knives standing beside them like tentative patient soldiers. And as you stand on the edge of the bridge, you can see that a number of the silverware approach you, but don't seem aggressive. They stay about 15 feet away from you as they simply fall on the ground and begin to spell out words. The first phrase is, "Back off, guy." Second phrase, "I'm not your buddy, friend." Third one is, "Don't come closer, you'll regret it."
I'm gonna look the creed. Should I melt the silverware?
Or perhaps we
recommend
should
them.
show them the book that they may be looking for and perhaps solve this without destroying any more of our friend's property.
Is this tower connected to like this bridge and then just suspended in the air or something? That's kind of how this looks?
It is. Oh, from what you can tell, a lot of the mist has kind of come down the sides of it and enveloped the bottom, where normally you'd be able to see the bottom of a valley that it is built into, almost as a spire reaching out from the cliffside. To you, it just looks like a bottomless abyss due to all the fog that has settled within the valley and has come back up and over, bleeding into the farmlands to the south, east, and west, where you see more of these mundane items coming out of the wood line and moving towards the tower. Now,
So, opposite suggestion. Do we have enough explosives to just drop this thing and say no?
are you sure that's a good idea?
No. Just asking.
I was gonna say I want to turn to Okros and go. I guess I may just be a little salty about Lucifer still right now.
Now,
The
Aura,
scarf thing still has me going.
it that was funny. Aura, roll me perception check as you are speaking with your companions. Thankfully, due to the race of
Friggin'
telepathy you
10.
still have.
Even with a +8, it gave me a 10.
Bad news bears. So,
It's an F.
Mm-hmm.
well, you're flying as an eagle, right?
Yeah.
You get advantage on those because you're an eagle. You got eagle
Do I get
eyes.
to roll again then? Yes.
Yep. You roll it again, take the highest. You got
I mean-
lower, didn't you?
Gotta fly to the sea.
I got a
These spirits hear
9.
you.
I mean, that's like a 9 in total.
No, 10 for my first one, 9 for the second, so 19. Or do I?
No, you
I just
take
take
the
the higher,
highest
don't I?
D20. Take the highest D20.
Yes, a 10. 10.
Okay. So you got a 10 in
Could be
total.
worse.
All right. So
Yeah.
with her eagle vision and the fog being kind of a nuisance, Aura can see that there is a small path on the right side of the bridge that leads to the side of the tower. That pathway, as you can take into context, is the service path that Tristan used originally, and that entrance is now destroyed. What else she can see is, besides the bridge, is a almost large stone footpath that kind of fades in and out of the fog's view that is below just the surface of it. She can see that this pathway leads back into the cliff and then to the east about 300 meters, where she can see a very clear mouth of a cave opening, but a very tall fence surrounding it. And so that is what you have currently. She's able to see the service walkway. She's able to see a very clear cave opening entrance with a large fence around it to the east, about 300 meters. The bridge you're standing on that has a number of items on it that all seem to be just kind of back off guy to you. And that's basically what you got so far.
These silverwares and such, are they made of the metals?
The silverware is, along with other items that have metal in them or on them, yes.
What's their melting point?
If it's original silverware, it's silver mixed with tin, so you're looking at probably about 800 centigrade.
Hear me out. Maybe we don't piss off the guard.
I just
Oh,
wanted
so
to
you
torch
weren't
them.
here, so you didn't get stabbed. Just gonna throw
I
that
wanna
out
tor-
there.
I want to
I-
torch them. I have fire. I want to light on fire and
You're
melt
also
melt.
still a burb in the air
I would stop being a burb.
and then fall into the crevasse.
Oh, that's a crevasse. Yeah, no, I'll stay burb. I just wanted to start something on fire.
First time she's back, I want to light everything on fire. Just everything. Burn it
I
down.
I
respect
can't-
the motivation, but
can't.
maybe wait till we're in a fight.
I can't use my famous finishing move on silverware, okay?
Listen, we don't
Okay.
use
You
finishing
just
moves
haven't
here.
tried hard enough.
I can't donkey kick a fork.
Can't
I've used
donkey
a finishing move before.
You've used my finishing move?
I've used a finishing move.
Oh, yeah,
So-
mine's the donkey kick.
Yes, we know. So,
Yours is the
this-
donkey kink? What?
AO, Donkey Kinks?
Kick.
Whoa.
Kick.
Whoa.
K-I-C-K.
Look, man, donkeys have to make a living too.
Let-
They're
let-
not all bad carts.
Let's all take a
A
deep
Darian
breath
doesn't know
here.
about my finishing move. He wasn't there.
Can we stop talking about finishing moves until we start with foreplay, please? Thanks. Anyway, so what do you guys do? You're on the bridge. You see the 3 paths in front of you. One path that you know is not going to be concise. What's your plan? Or do you guys want to take the 3-minute ad break to roll it around your head a little bit?
Can I pick everybody up and carry them?
Carry them where?
Drop them right. Because is it like the castle? Is it like for a tower? Does it have like a courtyard and all that jazz?
No. It's a tower.
You said there was a side
Okay.
path, right?
Yes.
But it's collapsed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we just go through the front door?
Oh, I
Because
was
of
gonna say we
Because
can.
that's worked out for us so well in the past.
We potentially have what they're looking for.
Yeah, if we showed the book like Gross was saying,
Like,
I don't
there's
know
a
what we do and do
possibility
not
they'll let
have.
us in.
look. Also, I'm gonna throw it
We're
out
going
there.
to take a
There's
quick
probably-
pause while you guys deliberate, while we let the ads roll so that no one misses a thing. And once we're back on that, then once you guys deliberate a little bit, we'll step right back into the shenanigans. Okay? So we'll be back in 3 minutes. Get yourself some water and stretch, and we'll be back in a second.
canonically 6'1", so
I thought it was
He's
six
believe
foot
that's what
nine.
it
canonically
was.
7'9". Just ooh.
He has
And
a
we-
42 pack on
I
his
picture
belly.
he's got a 12.
I picture-
he talks like that, but if you think about it, he's it's all just a front. It's like Master
I
Roshi.
picture
He
I
wants you to
picture Clem as-
underestimate him. He's succeeded.
All right.
so I
we
picture him as
are
like a garden gnome.
so we are now back. The ads are over. We are back in the thick of it. My dear party, have you guys come to a decision on how you'd like to proceed?
Apparently we're going
Yeah.
through the front door.
Not try to fight all the inanimate objects that want to kill us, and just try to walk to the front door. Attempt to
Tempting
offer,
diplomacy.
attempt to offer what we
parlaying.
assume is what they want.
Ah, very good. Thank you. Thank you for the fart, Seth. Big preach.
Well, at least it wasn't a shark.
It could have been worse. It could have been worse.
We don't actually know that it wasn't.
You know what? Seth, check your
do
pants.
you need to tell us something?
Do you need to? You're pushing
You're
it.
pushing.
If anyone's
I get
pushing
it.
Oh,
Yeah, oh wait, I'm pushing it. Very good. Very good. All right, so you guys are just gonna go through the front door.
Muted.
Jenna, or Aura in this case, are you gonna turn back into a not eagle and join them on the bridge, or are you gonna stay eagle and just kind of like float? What's your plan? What's your deal?
I'm gonna just chill as an eagle for now. I'm gonna
Okay.
let the boys go be diplomatic because I'll probably say something to cause a war. Because
Okay.
this involves Clem and I have beef Clem.
Okay. So you're going to stay as eagle. The rest of you are going to walk forward. Who has the book currently? Is that Nez? Nez, you have the book?
I believe that is the case. I picked up the culprit, and then you absconded with the book while I was holding him still.
Yeah, no, it is, yeah. I took it because I was like, I did the sleight of hand roll on it.
Yes. And you also found a very interesting phrase in it.
Yeah. Yeah, please hold.
You don't have
Got
to
it,
think about
got
it
it.
now.
I
Just
swear I've got it.
find it later. Hopefully you remember it. So, any hoozle. Nez, you would step forward with the book, and the silverware would look at you and kind of part for a moment to let you pass, including the rest of the items that are on the bridge. Would see you kind of holding the book and would simply split like the Red Sea. The barrels of witch fire that sat along the side of the bridge, ready to throw themselves like banelings upon you, sit steady, unmoving. Very good, Seth. Very good. So, you guys move towards the front door. All the items remove themselves from your immediate presence, knowing that they are not going to attack you at this point in time.
Nez holds up the book, the inanimate objects.
Yeah, basically. It's they see you with the book and they simply go, he has what we are looking for, and they simply step to the side, allowing you to move to the front door.
Yes.
And so
Oh,
the front door is now accessible to you. What do you do?
I'm going to say, well, Gross, I guess you were right about the book. Let's go on in.
All right. Go ahead and move your tokens as necessary. As you guys move into the main room, you see that surrounding this room is a number of objects. There are some hat racks nearest to the door, 6 in total, 3 on either side, that are covered in different wizard hats. All of different decoration in styles, colors, etc., as a man is made of his hat. Or as Clem would say, there are 2 large treasure trunks to the west, near what looks to be a hearth and a very small sitting area. To the north on this map, you see 2 armoires that are simply standing by, waiting for whatever may happen. To the east, you see the large boudoir, the repo cabinet, as once it was called, sitting there as you can hear the yells of Tristan from inside. But in the center, the most interesting item that really pulls your attention is this massive fire giant skeleton, perfectly preserved, standing in the center on a pedestal, or at least a small platform. Its its bone joints are reinforced with metal studs and plates. Very strange for something that is meant to be a display piece, as those of you who have been to a museum in your character's lifetimes would know that most skeletons are not set up that way. If anything, they may have a couple of pins here or there to keep their joints in place as for display purposes, but this skeleton seems to be reinforced beyond that measure, almost remaking the joints on its legs, ankles, knees, hips, hands, fingers, everything has been meticulously crafted to have almost a metal-like casing around the joint, remaking it entirely. It stands with a large, almost glaive-like scimitar in one hand, almost that of wielded of Ragaddon. And it stands almost as an imposing figure, wispy gray straw-like hair kind of going down its back as it seems to be looking up towards the top of the tower. You see that there is a door to your northeast and a door to the north, unknowing of what it may be. But that is what you see currently in this room. And as you walk in with the book, the hat racks do not move, nor the armoires. The Repar boudoir seems to spit out Tristan as he sees you with the book. It rushes you before it stops, you holding up the book as it simply backs away slowly, returning to its position. Tristan on the floor, terrified of what has occurred. The front of his robes darker than the rest. He stammers up. He goes, "Hey, okay, I was just inside of that thing, and oh, it's the fucking thing," as he points up at the skeleton, almost panicking. It doesn't move. It doesn't seem to react. But as he's pointing at it, he just seems to freak out. He seems to be just in the sense of delirium, looking at this massive skeleton. He says things along the line of like, "We shouldn't be here. We gotta get out of here. We gotta leave. I don't know why we're back here." He's in full crash out mode. What do you do?
I bop him on the back of the head to knock him out.
Roll the bonk. Give me a strength check.
I'm still listening, but I won't be at my PC. But doesn't matter because I'm still flapping.
Yes, you are still flapping. You're just watching from the windows like a creeper.
Plus 25.
You easily just walk over to him as he's blathering, raise your fist up, and just bonk him with one quick, easy movement, knocking him unconscious. He kind of just falls to the floor in a slump. The air now becoming silent for the most part, minus the creaking of living wood and metal.
Excellent. Now that we don't have his inane babbling, we need to find where to return the book to.
Okros, give me a perception check.
Well, he does that. I want to investigate what he was staring at in the middle.
Of course. Go ahead. Roll investigate.
Um, 16 in total.
Okay.
I got a 9.
You got a. So Nez, as you walk up, you don't really find anything super strange about this preserved fire giant skeleton in the center of this room. It just seems there, and you don't really notice anything strange about me besides the fact that all the joints have been remade with meticulous craftsmanship that screams insane, meaning that's probably Clem's handiwork. But otherwise, it seems just preserved, normal, which is strange for a tower of this design. And Okros, you feel like something is staring at you. And as you kind of turn to what you believe it was, being the skeleton, you see that it is still looking towards the top of the tower.
So that was probably
I'm
there.
going to, I guess, take the book, bow respectfully to the giant that is suspiciously inanimate, and head up to see if I can find the pedestal in the direction it's looking.
So as you kind of follow its line of sight, you see that it's looking more at a set of windows at the top of it that lead to this dome that encapsulates the top of this tower that you're kind of standing in. And so you were told by Tristan in his rabid ramblings that the mist generator, the whole cause of this kerfuffle, was in the basement. It was in the lowest level. And so you see that there are 2 doors, one to your north, one to your northeast.
Can I see which, like, where each door leads?
Of course. Yeah, you can. Then nothing's going on. You can easily walk up to them, open them, and see what's going on if you wish. Actually,
Yes.
which one would you like to look at first?
You said north and northeast?
Yes, north and northeast.
The north one first.
As you go to the north door, it opens easily as the wind from the valley that this tower sits upon kind of comes whipping up as you see the fog around the tower comes up like weird tendrils, almost ethereal like, as they kind of waft past the tower in waves. You see that it's almost like a landing deck for something. It doesn't seem to lead anywhere. It just kind of is.
Alright. I close the door and I go check the northeast one.
You walk past the armoire that's on your northeast as well, and it doesn't seem to move. It kind of clatters a bit as it shifts its weight, almost like a sentry kind of watching you very closely, but doesn't seem to be aggressive or hostile. And as you go to the northeast door and you kind of just gently open it, you see that it leads to stairs going down.
And I have no other discernible ways of getting to the dome from in here?
Nope. It seems like that the only way down is through this door. As
Okay.
Tristan did say that he took the book from where the mist generator is.
Oh. I suppose I shall start heading down. Carefully.
As you begin making your way down, Nez, give me a perception check along with the Darian.
I would like to go with him, by the way. There's no way he's going alone.
Yeah.
Very good, Mr. Creed. You go with
Sorry.
Okros down the stairs. And as you both descend the stairs, Darian and Niz, give me perception checks.
I got a 22.
Very good.
25.
All right. The both of you see as Okros and Creed leave the room with the book and step through the door down the stairs. You can see the head of the skeleton tracking them. And as they leave the room, going down the stairs, it turns and looks at both of you.
Oh boy.
I don't think we should stay here, Nez.
No, I think we're gonna go with them.
Yeah.
As you two go to leave, as you kind of get this feeling of, oh no, my bones, you see that it picks up the scimitar out of the platform and starts to move. The bones and plates cracking in its joints as it looks down at you, letting out this kind of deep guttural bellow. Just. And now you two are in a fight. Okros and Creed, you have no idea what's going on that floor. But as you descend the stairs, you see that it is multiple levels down. As you come to a room that seems to have a lot less stuff in it than you imagined. Relatively open circular room with a pedestal in the center that sits in front of a large amalgamation of golden rings that seem to swirl all around each other with vents leading to its center. The mist seeming to be pumped out of the very rings that are spinning, kind of coming out of a weird green, almost what you could describe as a portal, dumping this fog out as it's being sucked away by the vents in this encapsulated kind of device. There are tendrils of the fog kind of along the floor, very much as if you had a fog machine going, not enough to cause a problem, but enough to tell you the machine is working. But you do clearly see a pedestal sitting in front of it, next to a control console to the fog machine.
Well, this looks like the pedestal, I suppose. We'll walk up and put the tome down on it.
You put the tome down on it, and the fog machine continues to spin. And as you place the tome down on it, and the fog machine continues pumping out the defense animating fog that it's been using, you hear heavy thumps above you from where you were. Like something massive is moving.
I see.
Creed is just going to close his eyes. We'll leave them alone for 5 minutes. How much do you want to bet that skeleton's now alive?
I can. Yeah, it's not a bet I'd take, because I can pretty much guarantee it is.
Ugh.
All right, so what do you two do, Mr. Okros, Mr. Creed?
Either this wasn't the right spot, or we're sort of too far down the road.
Or perhaps there is a passcode we need to say to disable the security system. I don't know. I did not read the book. Who read the book?
Nez read the book. He was
I
the only
believe
one
Nez.
who read the book.
I believe Ned's. I mean, what, do we find him here, look at it and say clem, clem, clem 3 times?
I don't think you want to know how that story ends, man. Don't invoke that.
You hear a bell ding in the room you two are standing in.
Oh.
As a small golden orb pops out from next to the podium and kind of floats over to you. As it opens, as a bunch of green glyphs kind of appear on it, and a green square of light opens as it shows you a vision of Clem sitting behind a desk. As he kind of looks at you and he goes, "What the fuck? What? How did you get this number?"
You'll have to ask Creed, but seeing as we have you, your dipshit apprentice has stolen your tome, and we're trying to fix it.
That balding dipshit took my book?
Yes.
Let me guess. Everything's alive, including the skeleton in the main room that's probably killing your friends right now?
There.
More than likely, yes.
Ah, yes. Well, I would tell you the passphrase, but I change it every 6 months, and it's been quite a while since I've been there. I don't remember what the last one was. I knew I wrote them down somewhere, whether in that room or in the book. I just don't remember where. Terribly sorry. I didn't realize that he would be stupid enough to actually break into the tower full of dangerous magical items, steal the one thing I told him never to touch, and then leave, unattended, the entire fortress full of very dangerous items.
Yes. And on that note, you are going to need to hire somebody to repair your utility path.
God, that was my sneaking God, I'm gonna kick his ass. I swear to gods. Well,
provided the giant hasn't killed him, he is unconscious in the room upstairs.
Oh.
We may have left him up there not realizing that the skeleton was going to immediately animate the moment we came down here.
Did you leave the room with the book in hand?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. They're not meant to attack the book, as it's part of the coding of the fog. So if you left the room with the book, it goes into guard mode. And you, as much as we are friends, have never been authorized to be in the Tower of Dangerous Objects. That is why no one's allowed to go in the Tower of Dangerous Objects.
Well, Creed, seems like we need to bring the book back up and get them down here.
Wait, did you already put it back on the pedestal?
Shit. Perhaps.
Don't take it off again. Don't take it off again.
Well, that will make reading it difficult as well, so regardless,
you can
we need to go
open the
get
book
Ness.
on the thing, just don't take it off the podium.
Very well.
I imagine Nez already unlocked it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so there's your first step done. You can just open it and read through it. It should be easy writing or easy reading to kind of understand where everything is, but do not take it off again. You'll cause a failsafe to trigger, which none of us want. Oh, by the way, how long has the fog been going on?
I believe a few days.
Has it been longer than 3?
Yes.
Oh. I would solve the problem quickly. Is there a large red clock in the room with you?
Do I see a large red clock in the room with me?
Yes. You see that it is above the door you came in. And it is ticking down to, it essentially says 11:57 p.m.
Yes.
What time is it on the clock?
11:57 p.m.
Okay, so not to scare you. You have 3 minutes to shut the machine off, or you're gonna get dimension doored into the sun.
First of all, that's a horrible idea. Second of all, that is an effective deterrent, I must admit.
No, it's not effective deterrent. It's that if the machine runs longer for 3 days, that means that everything in the vault is alive. I have things that should never be used by anyone, including me, and the fog, more than likely, has gone into the vault. if you were to open it, have you ever seen a priest use a Baphomet staff and like nuke a whole city into undead soldiers? What if that staff was just alive and able to do whatever the fuck it wanted? See the problem? So,
Yes.
if it's been on for longer than 3 days, that means the fog has now creeped into the vault, and the failsafe is that the whole fucking tower just gets sent away. Because no one needs any of what's in there to come out. So, no big deal. You got 3 minutes to figure out the passcode. No pressure.
Your apprentice really is quite the fool.
Yes, feel free to beat the shit out of him if you survive.
Gladly.
Very good. Climb out. And he hits a button on his desk, the image fading to nothing as the orb flies back into the pedestal and sinks into the side of it.
Creed, I believe you will have a better chance of finding the password in the book. I am going to go try to get our friends down here.
Let me check something real quick. There has to be something I can help you with to give you the help, because I'm gonna be reading and yeah. You know what? Well, no, because we have 3 minutes. That wouldn't matter. Never mind. I could have given you a total of 16 temp HP, but that's not going to help you. So it takes 10 minutes to do that.
Do you want a freebie advice piece from your dungeon master that could possibly help?
Sure. What you got?
Barbarians can use shields.
Fair enough. Free's going to slide the buckler off and pass it over to Okros. Please bring it back in one piece and don't lose it. It's a +6 to your AC.
Yep. So when it's activated, you get a +6. So naturally, you have a +2. When activated, it gives you a +6 instead, and it gives you the feat protector, meaning that it gives any creature you can see that is attacking someone within 5 feet of you disadvantage.
All right.
Yep. So you now have the fuckler.
Yes. All right. Well, I
Never calling it
suppose
that.
I will equip it and activate it. So that would, you said that's +6, so
Yep.
put me up to 25 AC
Nice.
temporarily. Put that in here just so I have it. There we go. And yes, in response, Okros will say, well, I appreciate you trusting me with this, and I will bring it back safely. Good luck finding the password.
How hard can it be? It's just a book.
So we leave Creed in the basement as he approaches the book with a very high confidence, which will soon be shattered. As we switch to Okros sprinting up the stairs, as you come in to see Nez and Darian fighting a massive skeleton. So, at this point, Nez and Darian, go ahead and roll me initiative, along with Okros.
Real quick question I was waiting to ask. Are we just fighting the skeleton, or is it everything in the room?
It's just the skeleton.
Okay, cool.
As far as you know.
No, as far as I'm saying.
I rolled a 12.
I rolled a 5.
Man, you're rolling low. The last session you rolled a 6.
I feel better
Dude,
about
whenever I roll initiative, it's so bad right now.
Terrible. It really is.
And honestly, even before you did all that story, all I could think of is how could I run to the door and go to where they are?
Just, how can I get out of here as quickly as humanly possible?
I think maybe you should have been trying to remember whatever you read in that damn book.
Oh, I already know what it is.
He does.
Oh, very good.
He
Good
knows
job.
it. Okros, what'd you get for your initiative, sir?
Sorry, I was just double checking that I do in fact have advantage on initiative, so I get to roll again.
Yes.
Okay, I got a 14 on my initiative.
Very good. All right, so Mr. Okros, you will come in at the next round as this is going to be happening while you were downstairs. So,
All right.
while you were downstairs, the skeleton comes to life and begins to shift its way towards the door. Its first being just a standard movement as it sits and stands in front of the two of you, its large scimitar drawn. And it swings it down at Nez, because it has a reach of 15. And it gets a 21 in total.
That would hit.
So
That'll
for you,
do.
I need a dex save, sir.
Like save.
Dex save.
Uh, 13.
That
So-
would just be clicking the dex button, right?
It'd be clicking your saving
No.
throws
Oh, I see.
where it's the dex is, because certain classes have proficiency in different saving throws. All right, so that is unfortunately a fail on the dex save, and you will take 33 bludgeoning. Its second swipe is going to be at Adarian for a 32 in total. Adarian, please give me a dex save.
I'm still trying to figure out where to click on this stupid thing.
Look at top left of your sheet. It should be
Should say
left
saving
side,
throws.
just down under your
I
ability.
see it now.
Yeah.
Thank you. I rolled an 11.
You take 41 bludgeoning.
How much did you say? I'm sorry.
4-1. 41.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, and that's its turn, which brings us to Adarian.
Give me just a moment, please. I am looking through my book of things. I'd like to just point out that this situation really, really sucks.
Yes.
I don't know what you're talking about. I just got to read.
You're not in here. I'm not talking to you.
Fucking Darian got hit, and all I could think was,
No, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
The skeleton drops the scimitar and grabs the chancla.
God damn.
Guys, I think we need to leave. It's about to get real.
It just takes off its sandal and is just like, oh no, guys, we gotta go.
We gotta go. We gotta get out of here.
It's got an enchanted throwing weapon now.
oh no!
Oh, I
I
think
was
we did-
already
Not the
there.
throwing slipper of
Look,
banishment.
I'll be honest. The giant skeleton's scary enough. The thought that it's still wearing slippers, and then you see it take one off, man, that's like that's like shooting Jason Voorhees in the head and watch get up and pull a knife out of his torso to stab you to death.
Yeah.
It's like at that point,
The only
what are
thing
you
that
gonna
would be
do?
more terrifying is if he started jabbering at you in either Latino or Filipino.
Oh,
Oh god.
No, thank you.
Yeah, because especially that Chancla's gonna be True Strike and Banishment. It's gonna be enchanted. It's gonna be nasty. It's gonna be lore accurate, to be specific.
I've been talking this whole time. I didn't even realize I was muted.
God dang it, Jenna.
Well, Jenna, would you like to enter the initiative?
I'm still Burb, am I not? I would have to de-wild shape and make my way inside.
There's windows, and you are Burb.
Can I Kool-Aid Man the window as an eagle and then unwild shape?
You're a giant eagle. Just go through the window.
You
Exactly,
are a
I'm just
giant
gonna-
bald eagle. This is not modern day. This is like single pane glass. You can just smash through that shit like the Kool-Aid Man, yes.
That's what I said. I can just Kool-Aid Man
Yeah,
it.
yeah, you can Kool-Aid Man it, sure. Just
I Kool-Aid Man window as Burb.
all right. You are now
that's where the
Burb.
bird slams into the glass window because it's so clear.
All right, so you're now in initiative. Aura, roll me your initiative with advantage because you have your weird trident thing. And you'll be coming
got
at the
a
same time as Okros.
I got a 16
Very good.
on that
16.
one. Do I roll twice or do I roll once?
You roll twice, take the highest.
Why is it rolling 2d20s?
Because it already probably has advantage calculated in.
Oh, well, 19 on that one.
Ah, very good. All right, so Adarian, what do, sir?
I don't really have anything good for this situation, so I'm just going to shoot Eldritch Blast at this thing.
Very good. Very good.
I don't like any of that. 2 11s and a 27.
27 hits. So you got that going for you.
14. for
Very
damage.
good. 14 damage. Heard. All right. Do you want to move or anything? Anything else? Because you got your bonus action and your movement.
Yeah, I would like to be further from this thing. 1 second, let me. I only have the one monitor. I have to tab it back and forth between the two.
You
Sorry,
silly man.
You probably don't even own an air fryer.
I don't.
Oh,
Well, why you gotta just hit him like that?
Jeez.
I'm just
Jeez.
committed to the bit. No hate.
Yeah.
And this is a huge skeleton thing we're fighting, yes?
Oh yeah. Huge skeleton thing.
Okay.
Big undead. Indeed.
Oh, it's
Yes,
undead,
yes,
great.
good and evil.
So
There's
none
evil
of-
above you.
Does it count as undead actually if it's being animated in like a non-typical manner? Sorry.
It's
I mean, it's a skeleton.
It's technically, if I was gonna call it anything as a construct, because it's not like necromized, it's animated.
Yeah. Okay.
Which should be words to Okros's ears.
Oh, gross. Ears are ringing like it's a construct. I can hit it.
Yeah.
All right. So
I'm gonna move over here.
very good.
I need to actually move the thing. I think it's right there.
Yeah, close enough.
Okay.
You got it. You did it.
Thank you.
All right.
Good there. I don't have a bonus action that's useful in this situation.
Okay. All right. Nez, what are you gonna try and do?
Oh, I'm in. My character was thinking I need to go with them to the book, and this thing came alive to begin with. And honestly, with it just being us two, because of I don't see Aura in the room at all, like
Yeah,
because
you
the
don't see
behind
Aura
him.
and
and all that.
Okros yet.
Though since he did get near, I am hitting Protector, so that's a 1d8 plus 4 on Lucifer. So 5, 9 temp health for Darian and me.
Very good. Are you gonna just try and dash
You
to the
said
door?
I'm going to shoot myself with adrenaline for my last 3rd level SOT. I've had this like this plan for the entire time. And then yeah, I'm going to book it for the door, and I'm using disengage as I pass him.
All
Oh,
right.
Go
and
down.
Nez just taking the fucking adrenaline and dipping out all.
He's gone. So yeah. So Nez, because you gain 2 actions because you cast haste and you double your movement speed, you make it to the door and you take disengage. So he tries to swing at you and misses. And as you open the door and you start running down the stairs, you run like face the chest on Okros as he is walking, like as he was coming out of the door into the
You
zone.
That's why I just
basically
put on
open
him.
the door and run
Like-
face first into the wall.
Yeah.
Ah, good. You help with the book. I'm going to go help with the skeleton.
Perfect. I'm leaving Lucifer with you guys.
Yep. And Nez, you scuttle down the stairs. So we'll deal with you in a minute. You zoop. You're on the speed juice. You're out of there. you're talking real fast. You're all spasmy and twitchy. You're just like,
Gotta go.
Go.
right. And so as we enter this next stage, Okros and Aura, you enter the fray. As a Darien, you see a giant eagle crash through one of the large windows. As she just barrels in and flaps. Aura, do you change back into yourself like once you have
Yes.
a dramatic entrance? Very good.
Yes.
As you see Aura kind of take back her shape, as she soon realizes she is like 10 feet from this giant skeleton.
Is it facing me or away from me?
It's facing away from you
Obviously.
for the moment.
Okay. They have its attention. Am I allowed to use my perception, I believe it would be, to determine if it's being controlled by magic or not?
Oh, you can 100% assume it is being controlled by magic. It is animated as shit.
Okay.
And that would be Arcana for future reference.
Okay. Oh, I'm not proficient in that. That's a boo. Okay, so since I know it's being controlled by magic, is it my turn or am I going after
It is
her
your turn.
first?
It's
Okay.
you, Okros, the giant skeleton, then a Darien.
I would like to cast Dispel Magic at the 4th level. I have to roll your spell die. Give me a second. Let me get to my
All right.
dice.
Let's see what happens.
That's gonna shoot me in the foot. I've been getting shit rolls today.
So it is your spell bonus modifier plus a d20 to dispel whatever is on it.
It won't let me roll on Owlbear. What is this? Yeah, Owlbear is not responding. Give me a second.
And Cass, you're not allowed to have speed juice. That's a bad idea. It's not allowed. Absolutely not.
No.
12.
I
got
thought
a
about saying res
12.
and share, but meh.
What's
And
your
so-
what's your modifier?
Where do I see that again? It's been a while.
Click on spells.
Okay.
It should be
+4, so
there.
16.
All right. So you go to cast Dispel Magic on this.
I barely make it.
You definitely feel like you grab onto something and you start making it dissipate as you see that the giant skeleton seems to kind of slow and kind of return to almost a preserved state, but it is not fully immobilized. Like something is still having it go through the motions.
Okay, so
But-
it's a higher than level 4 magic on this thing.
Yes, significantly.
Okay.
Also, Seth, bite my ass. You know what?
Wow.
You know what the word I'm gonna have to use now, Seth, and it's gonna be all your fault. Bone
The
man.
huge boner.
Or
Fuckers.
boner, yeah.
Can I get a
one or the
bonus
other.
action?
Yeah, you do have a bonus action.
I'm a schmack it.
You're gonna smack it.
If you were a skeleton, you'd have
hold
a
on.
bonus action.
God damn
I'm a
it.
schmack it with a flame blade.
Okay, smack it with the flame blade. Roll
Yeah,
the
there
hit.
we go. Oh, daddy.
I roll the hit /DC button, right? On
No,
D&D
it's-
Beyond.
So for your green flame blade, the DC is to not take damage from it. You're gonna be rolling just to hit with it. That should be underneath your
Yeah.
attacks.
Yeah, it says hit /DC. And then beside it, it says damage. So I press the button that says +8, yes?
Yes, hit the button that says +8.
24.
You hit, roll damage.
Roll dabblage.
Roll damage.
12. So not great, but 12.
12 flame damage. I mean, that still does it.
Schmack. I done.
Okay. Hi, Don. All right, Mr. Okros. You see Aura bash through the windows and just bring forth the ever-loving. You see she twists the magical threads of this bone daddy, and then hits it with a flame sword. It is now you, sir.
All right. Then I am going to charge up with. Well, first I'm going to rage, actually. Or to do that. Almost.
I was gonna say, what, no rage?
And then that will give me. Where's the measurement tool again? There it is.
Measurement turtle.
Just enough to leap directly at it. I will use my bonus action to do that then. 'Cause hell yeah.
Wow, Seth. Wow.
What did he ban now?
He banned Jenna's character name.
Oh. Wow.
Alright, you have to give me a replacement there, Seth. You can't just ban someone's name and then be like, yeah, figure it out, nerd.
I mean, he kind of can, though.
You know what? Fine.
And also, I don't think
Sea
you want
Elf.
Seth renaming Jenna.
Moist Elf. There you go.
That
No,
works too.
Okay, so
you can play that game.
Oh, no. He's not a player in the game.
You can't acknowledge him now, though.
Oh,
he's
God.
fumbling the
Yeah,
window.
yeah, he can. All he has to say is projectile.
Hold on. Pause, please.
While the pettiness is happening, Okros, are you swinging? Are you swonking?
Yes, I am indeed. I am going to swing at it twice with my maul.
Very good. It is considered a construct, so you do get advantage on your hits and your dabblage.
There.
All right, so the first one is a 25 to hit, and the second attack is a 22 to hit.
Both hit.
There's nothing wrong with that. And
Heard Stories was pretty good.
it takes practice to get good at the game anyways. And I legitimately, I just love hunting the monsters, so I don't care.
You mean you just roleplay Okros
Yeah.
in a different game?
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Mayhaps, he says.
He
It's
even-
just like... "Mhm."
He even prefers this game because it lets his character do his own cooking.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally has a portable
Yeah.
kitchenette.
I can't
There you
wait
go,
for
Baron.
school to invent televisions just so Okros can have his own cooking show.
There you go, Burn. I banned Seth and projectile.
Ay vey.
Now you
Wow.
can't even. Now you can't acknowledge him.
I'm gonna start calling him Rutabaga.
Hey,
Dude,
how
that-
long do those last for, by the way, Graham? It doesn't actually say.
Say again?
The
How long
entire
do the
stream.
bands last for?
I usually have it
5.
go for like 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how funny it is.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Sometimes I've had it go for the
Okay.
entire stream because I find it hilarious. So, or I forget.
Ooh.
So that's
I appreciate the
14
honesty.
plus. So 21 damage for the first one, and then I need to roll the additional 1d8 damage, but I don't have a d8 currently, so I need to roll that on Owlbear. Wait, do I have a d8? No, that is one of the ones I lost. Damn. Well, and then an additional 1 damage from the
Very good.
construct bonus.
Very good.
And then second attack.
Second attack.
Mm. 16 plus the 7 would be 23 and then roll another one of these, and 27 damage in total for the second attack.
Nice, you've knocked down to 350 hit points. Good job.
Yeah.
Alright, because of the moist elf's meddling, the giant skeleton gets its turn skipped because of what she was doing with the magics. So that brings us to Etheria.
Mhm.
I'm still out of range of this thing, right?
Oh yeah, you can't get hit by it. You're out of range of its
Okay.
punchies.
Cool. I'm just going to shoot at it again.
There you go.
A moment. Uh, 12 and 2 28s.
12 and 228. The 228's hit.
Nine and 14 for damage.
9, 14, nice.
And like I said, I can't use any of my bonus action stuff here because I'm pretty sure I can't scare this thing, so I'm good.
I mean, you also have a bunch of spells you'd be using, like Hex. Hex is a bonus action.
You make a good point, sir. I forgot about Hex.
You can mess
That's
up
a good one.
its mess up its ability saves and also make it have necrotic damage additional. For other
Yeah.
things, you have like remove curse, shadow of moil, spirit shroud. You have a lot of like really good stuff you could be using, like blight as well.
So, question: are we in a stone room or what's there?
Are you asking what the floor is made of?
Yes.
It's stone.
Hmm.
It's
Stone.
stone.
Okay. Okay. I also have blight,
You're right.
but it's
Alright, well then I guess I'll Hex it.
All right. It gets lehexed.
undead. You can't use blight.
It's a construct.
And
You
also,
can't use blight.
I didn't blight it, I hexed it.
No, I was talking to myself more than anything.
I'm not sure which stat to hex on it though. So I'm gonna hex its constitution.
Cool. Cool beans. All right, so it's hexed on Constitution. Let me get my little hex marker so I remember.
I need to mark one of my spell slots as used.
And remember, with hex, you don't really have to burn your higher level spell slots because it just makes your concentration
I don't.
time longer.
I don't have leveled spell slots as a warlock. It's always all of my spell slots are at the highest level, always.
Ah, very good, very good, very good.
But thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Any hoozle. Darian, that is the end of your turn. So now that brings us to Nez and Creed. You guys are in the basement. Nez, as you run down the stairs, twitching and spasming out from the adrenaline you shot into yourself, you come down and you see Creed has opened the book on the podium and is frantically flipping through pages. Creed, as you begin looking through the book, it is some of the worst, most incoherent writing you have ever seen in your life.
This is supposed to be a damned magical book. Why does the man have 14 pages on turnips? Why?
Turnips are important.
What do you have?
Creed.
You stick with the theme. But, oh, thank God.
What are you looking for?
Whatever turns this damned thing off.
Off. Like a word? You need a word or a phrase?
Yes, some phrase or passcode or something.
I
Don't
might have it.
But go. Whatever it is, go.
Where do I do it?
Yell it.
I've missed you very much.
As the words echo throughout the chamber, You see the golden wheel start to slow as you hear the ticking of the large clock that was over the door that you entered come to a standstill as the fog begins to recede from the basement that you're standing in. And those of you who are upstairs fighting the skeleton, you see that as it comes down to swing upon Okros and Or with all of its might, it stops in mid-swing.
Well, I guess he found the password.
Somebody remind me that after all of this is done, as much as I like the man, I need to send Clem a bill for medical expenses.
So, Creed and Nez,
Fair.
as you have said the passphrase, and the mist generator has stopped, the clock has stopped ticking, and the fog around the tower and everywhere else has begun to dissipate slowly, as is no longer being created. Creed, you see the golden orb that was in the podium pop out again and flutter past you up the stairs to the main floor.
We should follow that. Wait, hang on. Nez, do you have any paper?
Huh. Yes.
Let me see it, please.
I dig through my bag and hand Creed some paper.
Yep.
Creed is gonna very quickly write a note and like lay it not on the book but to the side of the book.
Mm-hmm.
Says don't fucking touch.
Very good. Very good. So I imagine once you're done writing your note, you and Nez hustle back up the stairs following the orb.
I'm planning to. I'm not sure. Nez, would you like to go upstairs?
Yeah, we should get up there and just 100% make sure that skeleton is not moving anymore.
Up the stairs we go, I guess.
All right. So as you two head up the stairs, the rest of you see that the skeleton has stopped moving. It has no longer any motor function. You're staring at it. It's not looking at you. It is stiff as a statue. And as you're all kind of standing there in awe, hoping that nothing else happens with the Bone Daddy, as Seth has now lovingly renamed it, you see a golden orb fly up the stairs through the door and stop in the center of the room as it begins to shine with green glowing glyphs, the top of it opening as a screen of light opens, taking up a majority of the space in the room. I did say Seth, I did. I'm sorry. As Rutabaga lovingly renamed the large guardian in the center of the room. You see a golden orb open with a large light screen that takes a majority of the space as you see an old withered man in a wizard's cloak and hat sitting at his desk as he slowly turns. Well, you're not dead.
Indeed. We succeeded, and I look for his apprentice. Is he still alive, or did he get squished?
Nah, he's by the boudoir.
Pretty good question, actually. Probably should be a concern.
And it
As
seems your apprentice is still alive and well for punishment.
very good. That would be arranged in but a moment. But it seems that you...
I will be right back. I gotta take a phone call and head.
Okay. It seems that you're all alive and well, and it seems that you stopped in a relative amount of time. If you had continued dealing with that for another minute, 30 seconds, you all would have been sent into the sun.
Yes, not an enviable fate.
No.
Glad to have avoided it.
Sounds relatively painless, at least.
Maybe. Don't know. Haven't been to the sun lately. But regardless,
One to find out.
Are you just gonna like do the raise the finger, open mouth? And just put his hand back down.
but it seems that everything is well in accordance. You've shut the fog off. You've secured my tower. You've returned the book, and you've brought Tristan, who now is going to be permanently bald for the rest of his forsaken life, due to touching my things. And it looks like everything is coming back into accordance. Do not worry about the rest of the animated objects outside of the tower. They will simply return to their non-animated states in but a few hours once the fog is fully dissipated. And hopefully, if no one touches the book again, this won't happen. But I'm glad to see you all alive. I would have been very lonely with all of you in the sun. So, feel free to go through one of the coffers. You'll see the 2 chests on the other side behind me. See what you can pull from there, and then get out of my tower. Okay, bye. Clem out. As he hits a button,
Goodbye.
as the screen disappears.
Ah, shit, I forgot to give him the bill. Oh, well. We'll see him later.
You get a tiny little note floats down to you, Adarian, and kind of like falls onto your hand.
Your injuries are not service related.
Okay, I catch the note, I open it to read it.
As you open it, you hear Clem's voice going, "I'm not covered by your HMO, go fuck yourself." And then it poofs into smoke.
Outer network provider be like,
That's great.
Alright, so
So, I'm going to go to the coffer and see what is inside.
Did he
yes.
say we could loot both of them or just one of them?
Both of them. I have the list
Okay,
up
I'll
for
go to the
both
one
of them.
closest to me.
Okay. Alright, so, Adarian, in the chest that you go into, you find a ring of lightning resistance, a staff of thunder and lightning, 2 potions of vitality, a potion of speed, it's a haste potion, and a potion of cloud giant strength.
Cool. Trying to figure out where to put all that.
All right. Who is going to look at the other chest? Or Darren, are you going to go look at the other one as well?
I was heading to look at one of them.
Very good. Okros, as you go to the northern chest, the one above Adarian, you see... Let me see if I just make sure I'm reading this correctly.
Those items you just read off, do I need to be adding that to my inventory, or what do I do there?
Just adding to your inventory.
Okay.
You can give it to the rest of the party later if you so wish. You find a very strange rod in the box. It seems to be about a 2-foot long rod made of what looks to be pewter silver. Weighs about 2 pounds, and on it seems to have a button. Now, being someone who has used an immovable rod before, you know that this is not that. So you'll have to identify it, but for all intents and purposes, out of character, you would know that it is a rod of security. Essentially, what the rod of security does for those listening and for those out of character listening, you can take it's meant to be written for the new DMG, which I don't use, but essentially you can use a bonus action to activate it, and the rod will instantly teleport you and 199 other willing creatures you can see to a demi-plane. You can choose the form it takes, so it can be anything you wish. A garden, a tavern, an immense palace, island, carnival, whatever. It contains enough food and water to sustain its visitors, and the environment cannot harm its occupants. Everything else can be interacted with there, can only exist there. So in case if you happen to pick a flower, a fruit, etc. from that plane and then leave, it turns to ash. For each...
So like,
go ahead.
so like if I eat an apple there, I still feel the satisfaction of eating an apple, though, right?
Yes. Like, the
Okay.
food there is real. It's just it cannot leave that space, if that makes sense.
So, sorry for interrupting your description. My apology.
For every hour spent in said demi-plane, you essentially will regain hit points as if you spent a hit die. So, if you spend 8 hours, you get a hit die. You can do your long rest there, etc. You don't age. Time passes normally. Visitors can remain for up to 200 days, divided by the number of creatures present, rounded down. So, if you have 200 people, you all get to spend a day. There's less people. Blech.
Burn.
Yes.
With a party of 6, you could stay like 40 or 50 days or something.
Yes. And,
Could you repeat the first chest?
Yes, I will repeat it. But you essentially cannot use the rod for another 10 days after it's been used once.
That sounds similar to a spell I read once. I don't know. Sorry.
I have returned. Sorry.
Very good. Stealth for the first chest was a Staff of Thunder and Lightning, a Ring of Lightning Resistance, 2 Potions of Vitality, and a Potion of Cloud Giant Strength.
Potion of vitality and potion of...
Oh, and another Potion of Speed, a Haste Potion.
Thank you.
Potion of giant strength, you said? And
Cloud
haste.
Giant. Cloud Giant Strength.
Cloud giant.
Like that. 1, 2. Potion of speed.
Yes. So that is the first really cool thing you find in that box. Otherwise, the other thing you find is a tube of weird, milky liquid that has a strong alcohol smell. Out of character, it is known as a universal solvent. And that tube of it...
Be really careful with that.
That tube contains 5 ounces worth of the liquid. Otherwise, you find 2 potions of supreme healing. There's 10d4 plus 20 hit points. And... God, there's so many fucking horseshoes in this random generation list. It's stupid. But you do find one thing that you find very interesting, Mr. Okros, is 1, a rope of climbing, and 2, a folding boat. For those of you who don't know, out of character, a folding boat is an object that appears as a wooden box that measures 12 inches long, 6 inches wide, and 6 inches deep, weighs 4 pounds, and can float. When used with the power or the 3 command word, it can fold out into 3 different sizes of boats. The first command word, the box unfolds into a rowboat. The second one folds out into a keel boat. On the third command word, it returns to its box shape. But any objects that are put into the boat that can stay in the boat stay in the box when it folds back up, much like a pocket dimension. The rope of climbing is a 60-foot length of rope that can hold 3,000 pounds. While holding one end of the rope, you can take a bonus action to command the other end of the rope to animate and move towards a destination of you choosing to the rope's length. That end moves 10 feet on your turn when you first command it, and 10 feet at the start of each of your subsequent turns if you are in combat. You can tell the rope to fasten itself securely to an object or to unfasten itself, to knot or unknot, to coil itself for carrying, etc. If you tell the rope to knot, large knots appear at 1 foot intervals, and it gives you advantage on ability checks made to climb using said rope. So it can be used as a regular rope, or it can knot itself and make it so it's 50 feet instead of 60, but give you advantage. Otherwise, it is an animated rope for all intents and purposes.
Neat.
Yes.
3,000 pounds, you say?
3,000 pounds, I do say.
Oh,
Well, I have some very non-lawful good ideas with that.
Ah,
I was
very
about
good.
to ask, does that mean it can also resist 3,000 pounds worth of pressure if you tie something up with it?
Yes, it's able to hold 3,000 pounds of sheer tension, if you want to put it into physicality words.
Neat.
Yes.
I think I have the same thought process as Creed right now.
Look, we gotta find
Yeah,
some
but your
way.
character's allowed.
We gotta find some way to kill these super soldiers, and hear me out. The first time I brought it up, it was it would have been effective. Um. So yeah, I have ideas, but I'm not supposed to have them.
And just for fun, just for funsies, I want Aura. Actually, all of you give me a perception check. Just all of you. I want to see what happens. I'm curious.
second. There.
I rolled an 11.
Creed has a 12.
Okay, you said perception check?
Perception.
Or I got a 24.
I forgot
Yeah,
this
I got
how
advantage
this
on
goes.
this.
You get like all of the good rolls.
Me?
Yeah.
Excuse me, I rolled a 1 and a 2, and the only thing that saved me was a +8 earlier on my perception when I was flying.
No, I did not have advantage. Okay, so my perception was only a 7, then, I think.
Okay.
No, an 8, sorry.
All right.
Yeah, I rolled a 7, and I want to just say, Nez is coming down from the adrenaline shot, and just is like, I'm done.
I'm done. I'm done with this. As you guys check the chest, you see the repo boudoir begins to kind of seize up and empty its guts in a figurative sense. And each of you see a different thing in the coils of rope and items that it has repoed, so to speak. Starting with the person who got the highest roll, Miss Moist Elf, you find a whip nestled in with the coils of ropes and cables.
Pause. We have rope and we have a whip. Okay.
Listen.
Yeah, we know whips and chain excite you.
Listen. Keep it to yourself. This whip looks like a strung out whip, the body of it being thinner than others. It seems to be made of sinew and cables, ending in a hollow fang on the end of it. The handle seems to be grafted of bone and leather strappings, almost makeshift in terms. And as you hold it, it seems to twitch with unknown lust for death, the fangs carrying a hidden venom that brings forth the deadly secret.
Oh, a lust for death, you say?
This
For my
weapon,
whippy whip.
if you wish to add it to your inventory, is known as the Parasite's Fang.
Okay. Give me uno momento. I don't remember how to add things to inventory.
I will do it, just to make it easy.
Thank
Sounds
you.
like a fucking terrifying one.
It is a
I would
weapon
like to
from the
take
siege
this
of
a
Etheria.
whippy. Creed's probably shaking in his boots a little bit right now.
Oh,
You'll be fine.
You said, what did you say, Graham? Something, something Etheria.
The
Or-
siege of
Siege.
Etheria was a campaign before this that this weapon came from.
Ah,
And we're
neat.
gonna add that to equipment for Miss Aura. There you go. So it's in there. Just refresh your page.
I have a smacky smack.
All right.
Well, not a smacky.
Who? So we had Nez and Okers. You guys both are like 6 or 7. Creed and
Yeah, roll
Adair, you
mid.
guys rolled like a 12 and 11, something like that.
I have a 12.
12,
I rolled 11.
11. Okay. Creed, you find a strange silver ring that rolls to your feet as the boudoir kind of expels itself. The ring seems to have 3 stones built into it, and it seems to be made of a brilliant, brilliant sterling silver.
Here's gonna bend over and pick it up.
As you pick it up, you can feel that it is cold to the touch, and it seems to have almost, the gems seem to look almost like cat eyes.
That's not creepy at all.
And as you pick it up, you kind of feel the name of it float into your mind, as it is called the Ring of Twilight.
I was just gonna ask out of character if this was the ring that Rage had.
Only during nighttime, out of character, only during nighttime and while wearing this ring, you can use an action to press one of the stones. When you do so, you can choose between True Sight or Dark Vision for 10 minutes. The vision has a radius of 60 feet. If you already have Dark Vision, it will double your range, so it goes 60 to 120. Whenever you use the ring again before taking a long rest, you must succeed a DC 15 Constitution saving throw or gain 1 level of exhaustion.
Neat.
Oh, also, I returned Creed's buckler.
Yes. Very good. The man does need his buckler.
Silly question.
Yeah.
This is for whenever we go back to town. Can I have someone enchant something that's already enchanted?
Like, what do you want them to enchant on it?
I want to do the same thing I have with my hand axes, but I want to be able to do with the shield Captain America style.
Yeah, it just depends on the type of, item, but yeah, that's just like adding one to it. It's fine.
That'd be sick. Unrelated to the current thing, I just like that'd be cool. Just like hold out my arm and it snaps to me. That'd be cool.
That would be pretty cool.
Creed's going to like wipe off the ring and he's going to tuck it into a pouch.
Very good. Mr. Adirian. A dagger clatters across the ground and lands at your feet. It's an old-fashioned blade, one that you haven't seen in a very long time. It's very simple, a very full-tang blade with a wooden handle, looks to have been used and worn for a very long time. It almost looks rudimentary to a highwayman's dagger. The wooden handle is darkened, the steel blade is straight and sharp, feels balanced and well refined from years of use, and seems to pull and influence your hand when you use it, as if it is trying to show you what it wants. Out of character, this is known as the Highwayman's Dagger.
I'm sorry, I didn't think it was going to be quite so literal.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It gives you a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this magical weapon. It gives advantage on picking locks the user is familiar with or has picked before. Also gives the user +4 to sleight of hand for pickpocketing. The knife itself can be tempted to steal without the knowledge of its user when holstered. When moving past an NPC that is something of worth determined by the DM, the weapon itself may roll a +7 sleight of hand to try and steal the item. The wearer of the dagger needs to make a perception check to see the dagger steal the item, and the victim needs to roll a perception for medium items of DC 10, DC 15 for small, tiny items. Proficiency with the dagger allows you to have a bonus to attack rolls or things that you do with it.
So out of a character, I have a question.
I may have an answer.
What would this do if this was on Creed instead of me? Is that going to mess up his oath at all?
No, his oath is not about not stealing.
Okay, cool. Because I might be giving this to Creed. I don't want that. I don't want a dagger in my pocket that's trying to pick other people's pockets.
You don't know what picks other people's pockets. You just know it's a cool dagger.
Fair. Alright, I pick it up and I throw it in my backpack.
Very good. I'm throwing it in your backpack now on D&D Beyond.
I already did.
Never mind. All right, you'll have 2 in there. Delete one of them. Schmuck.
I figured out the inventory thing, but thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
All right, we'll just, for lack of a better term, we'll go down to Okros next.
How do I delete one?
You edit inventory, manage inventory, and then remove it.
Thank you.
Mr. Okros.
Yes.
Long black serrated claws attached to blackened steel gauntlets clatter across the floor and land at your feet. The maroon and bloodied hands that are built around these gauntlets attached to the gunmetal bracers allow a user to strike someone with these claws attached to their arms. They seem to have come from a creature of great strength, as the talons are large, serrated, and seem to be made of a material that is stronger than adamantine. As you touch it, it seems to surge with power that you believe that you could use to make your strikes stronger, as it seems to be that of a slayer of monsters, a slayer of kin and blood. Out of character, these are known as the claws of the beast. They give you a +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with the weapon. They are the rending claws of a fallen brood lord. Long black serrated claws extend from the maroon and bloodied hand attached to a gunmetal bracer, allowing for the user to strike with the force of the monster that they fell. It surges with the power during strikes, allowing to bring forth ruin to those that find themselves in front of such of a slayer of monsters. The claw itself seems to bond with the user once blood has been spilled, making them an inseparable force until the fight is complete. This item gives +2 to a user's strength when attuned. During combat, the user cannot unequip the weapon and must finish the fight before they would be able to remove it. And as for a roleplay aspect, if you wish to attune and wear these, the user will feel whispers and anxiety of an invasion that may never come after equipping or performing a killing blow.
So speaking of stuff in our pockets, do I still have that book?
Yes.
I don't think I have it in my pocket.
Fix it.
I don't know how to add things.
Yeah.
I figure it out. What book was it again?
I don't remember what book you're talking about.
I have a
It
book
added
that
in
taught me something.
the
Me and
puzzle.
they were in those bags we got.
They're in the bags you got.
So
It was a
remember how
hot
you
minute
gave
ago.
Nameless the book to increase one of his stats. The other book was to increase intellect. After reading so many times, it was the book of many puzzles or something.
Yeah, the book of many puzzles. Yes, of course, the book of many puzzles. And last, but certainly not least, for Mr.
It
Nez.
doesn't exist.
I know, just custom it. Just put it into your regular stuff, or write it down on a piece of paper. It's more of just don't remember the actual name of it. I think it's the Book of Intelligence or something like that. Tome of Intellect. Mr. Nez, you have something fall in front of you as well, as everyone else seems to find these very interesting little bits and pieces of stuff. Things that seem to have been either made for them or seem to fit some kind of facet. The one thing that falls in front of you is something strange. It is a bronze ring with the sigil of crossed swords on it. It seems heavy in your hand, but not heavy enough to be a distraction.
Hmm.
Do you pick it up?
Yeah, I pick it up.
Out of character, you have acquired the Nemesis ring. It is a bronze ring with the sigil of crossed swords. While wearing this ring, the user can choose an enemy they bring to 1 hit point to, instead of killing them, become their nemesis. This can be done multiple times against the same enemy to increase their level and create a full villain out of a common enemy.
What the hell is the name of that game?
Shadow of Mordor. It's the
Yes,
Nemesis
okay.
system I built into a magical item.
That's really fucking sick, actually.
Yeah,
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
I had that item in the other campaign, and I kept forgetting to actually set somebody as my target, so I never got it.
Once attuned to the ring, it'll give you +1 AC and a natural +1 to hit. So, the basics for this is that when an enemy is chosen to be your nemesis, the ring will leave your hand and of the user and become a manacle around the neck of your nemesis. On the first takedown of a common enemy, basic McBasic common grunt, they get turned into a squad leader and gain +1 CR rating. On the second takedown, they become a sergeant, gain another +1 for a total of +2. On the third one, they become a commander and gain an additional +2 for a total of +4 CR. And on the fourth takedown, they become a true villain. They gain a fortress as well as an additional +2 to their CR, giving them a +6. After the final fourth takedown, the collar falls off the nemesis and returns to the hand of the user, bestowing the strength of the enemy onto the victor before turning to dust and falling into the winds. So, those are the fancy schmancy things that you guys got from doing the whole shabana-bana-bana-bana-banagans. Now, let me see what I've been missing in chat now that I've done all the item passing.
We're talking about pizza.
Ah, I missed it. Son of a bitch.
The pizza sounded so good, too.
Yes, Castell, there were whips and
hell yeah,
chains
pizza.
were here. I know that gets you excited. And then you have consumed an entire pizza. Knowing you, that makes sense, but is also terrifying. Where did all that pizza go? You're so small. Where did the
You have a
pizza
medical
go?
degree. It goes in the stomach.
No,
Thank you, Captain McObvious.
You're welcome. Do what I can. Do what I can to help out.
Thank you,
Man, she
Blackburn.
was-
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh.
No,
Holla.
people of gremlin genetics have black holes for stomachs.
Dude, that would be so
Yep.
efficient. I'd
You
get
know what
down
that
for that.
scans.
You basically just described the high metabolism.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I knew
Gremlin
someone through work who could put down like 9 Hungry Man meals and still go back for more.
Yeah. And thank you, Castell, for telling me how eating food fucking works. I really appreciate that. Of giving
Have to
me
make
the
sure you didn't
play-by-play. The play-by-play of how you consumed the pizza. I appreciate that wholly. Thank you.
She'll be back in a couple hours to tell you how it reached its destination.
I'm glad I could help educate you.
Actually, 24 hours to fully digest food, so whenever you take a dump, you're pooping out yesterday's food. Fun fact.
Fun fact. Fun facts. Farts
I like
are just
Carson's
the ghosts.
fact better.
I like Carson's fact. I'll tell her you said that. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah,
Is Miss
and
Carson
tonight
at
it's
the
her.
work?
She is at work. It is her first weekend of being a charge nurse the whole way through, so she is the big bad bitch on the unit tonight.
Mm.
Oh.
Hey.
Good.
Congratulations.
Yes, I'm very excited for her.
Ah, yeah, Cass. My mom used to say that to me all the time, too.
Me too.
I've never heard that before, actually, but I love it. It's great.
Rutabaga says the same shit. What's his name now?
So, you want to know a fun fact? This is a traffic fun fact. Since Carson isn't here to give us another one, I'll give you one. By 1955, 49 of the U.S. states agreed that state highways should have a white stripe down the middle between cars going in different directions. The lone holdout was Oregon, who believed that a yellow line was safer. 16 years later, the government mandated these white lanes be painted yellow, proving Oregon right.
I mean, Oregon had to be right about something at some point.
I, as a Canadian, I always forget Oregon's a state. I can name most of y'all states. Oregon's one I always forget.
You want to hear something crazy?
I had someone call
You wanna
Oregon
know
Northern
a fun one?
California.
So until 2023, it was against the law in Oregon to pump your own gas.
Yep. It's illegal here to spit on the sidewalk.
Weird.
Well, you know.
Another fun fact for free, a real quick one. Who knows what the first movie released to DVD was? The first one. The very first
Wasn't
one.
it one of the Disney movies?
It was not, surprisingly.
Hmm.
It was
Was
the
it Debbie
famous...
Does Dallas?
It was not. It was the famous Helen Hunt movie, Twister.
Oh, okay.
It was Twister.
You know what?
Mm.
I had that.
I've seen the
My
new
grandfather
one. I
had
haven't
it,
seen
anyways.
the original. If it's the tornado movie, I've seen the new one.
Yeah, it's a movie. But yeah,
Oh,
so...
Twisters, or
Yeah.
whatever it is, I think.
Yeah. So,
Twister was a good movie.
you find yourselves back in Mill Ruin. The fog now dissipated. The mundane items you fought scattered, fallen. The one
Can we
man
get
who had the
Tristan back?
walking, he is with you, and he's not feeling it. He's got a bit of
feeling it, then Akros needs to hit him again.
he's got a
Clearly.
bit of a concussion. He's a bit wobbly about the legs. I thank you, Cats, for banning that word. That's really beneficial to me as a dungeon master. Thank you.
That was great.
So you guys find yourself back in Mill Ruin with Tristan and your party until all the mundane items have fallen to the wayside.
Just say do the dice thing.
Make the dice clack. Do the clacky dice thing. But yeah, so you see that all the items that were here and animated have fallen to pieces. The armoires are fallen to the side. The man who is peddling things off a walking table, the table is now stuck where it is, and he's very frustrated as he was using it to move many things together. And it's just become a normal town. And as you're all kind of moving towards the center, you see that the mayor comes out to meet you. Again, more of an Adam West figure, about 5'10", white hair, very round about the face, talks in a very elegant fashion about making sure that his pants shall not be stolen. He still seems to have the rope harness tied around his groin to make sure his pants cannot be taken from him without a fight. As this is his 7th pair of pants, he cannot lose another pair. And as he sees all of you standing there in the center, kind of walking back with Tristan in tow, he goes, "Ah, wonderful! My pants are safe. However, can we thank you? I don't care that the rest of the town is safe, that's fine. But my pants are safe, and that's what matters." How can we thank you, heroes? You did not need to do any of this, but you did anyways. The wonderful, selfless heroes that you are. Now, what can we in Milruin do for you?
Didn't we come here because we needed some form of transportation?
I was gonna say like a better carriage, or like something to get us moving a little faster.
I'm gonna be real. I kind of forgot why we came here.
Me too.
Yeah, this place is becoming just a haze of nonsense and Looney Tunery.
Literally, that's it. That's what it comes down to.
It's been just a lot of what the fuck is going on. Yeah,
We
you
were
guys.
looking for better land transport.
Yes, you guys were looking for a way to scoot the boot, as it were. If you ask him for a carriage and a horse, or just a better form of transport, he will happily oblige.
I still have my horse. Where, I don't know, but I have a six-legged horse somewhere.
Where's my six-legged horse? It's probably at the town where you started, called New Haven.
You know, that was taken from you because you were talking about animal abuse and sawing legs off of it to make it only four-legged horse. So no, it's not your
My
horse.
You can't take my horse. I did circus tricks for those horse. Those are mine. Well, you guys can have share custody of the other one. I mean, it was my idea to go in the caravan.
And it was me who saved your dumbass from dying in it.
Yeah.
Darian, you missed a lot in the early days.
There was a lot of chaos in the early days, and it's not a Sleipnir. Sleipnir's eight-legged. These were two Fey, six-legged horses they got out of the Feywild, where our dear Aura went into a caravan of mysteries and oddities and got sucked into a carnival where she had to perform tricks to woo the crowd, otherwise she was going to be sent to essentially the death box. The rest of the party followed behind her and wound up having to help her, fix problems.
My shining
make
moment
it out
will
alive.
forever be the.
Yeah.
My shining moment will forever be the bear.
Yeah, of course it will. Anyway, so you ask the mayor for a carriage and a horse, and he happily obliges. He gives you guys a large carriage that can fit all of you easily, and has two large 16-hand horses pulling it. Very straightforward, very efficient, and goes.
Are they normal horses?
Yes, they're normal horses.
Can I trade my Fey horse?
What do you mean trade your Fey horse?
No.
You don't have the Fey horse here to trade with the mayor. Is at New Haven, which is across the fucking continents. It's actually across the ocean.
Damn it. Can I have him ask him if I can have one to add to my horse collection?
He's gonna look at you dead in the eyes and just go, I don't know you. I don't like you. No.
You don't know me, so how do you not like me?
It's your face, really.
Can I bop him?
You're gonna bop the mayor?
No.
I don't wanna
Sure,
bop
roll the
him
bop.
there. He just
Sure,
called me
no,
a
sure.
No rolling, no bopping. Don't bop the person who just gave us a carriage.
Fine. I won't bop the mayor, but he called me ugly.
He didn't call
He
you
didn't
ugly.
call you ugly. He
called
just he
you
doesn't
ugly.
like your face.
Yeah, you just said he didn't like your face. He didn't know you. To him, you just got here. He has no idea who the fuck you are. He's just like, who's this small, angry child? Whose child is this?
Doesn't know that you've been helping. The majority of
left
the time
the
you're in this
sassy
town, you're in a
child?
backpack.
Yeah. Whose backpack child is this?
A backpack child.
Castell, what the fuck?
God damn it!
Cass, you can't. You know what?
I'm saving that for another time.
That's getting pinned up there. That's
The
up
worst
there
part
now.
is I don't remember the name of the toy, but I remember what commercial most
It's
of
called
them's
a
from.
Bop It.
Well,
That's
bop
what
it.
It's just called a
Oh,
Bop
yeah.
It.
I don't remember what you bop it, but I like that toy.
I didn't say I liked it. I just said I remembered the fucking commercial.
Everyone
I
does.
don't know.
It's just in your
Just
brain.
that kind of vibe.
Thought we borrowed pants, not a sock. Jenna, shut your face. Stop it. Get some help. I bet you do. Cass. Jesus Christ. Anyway, we're getting railroaded by Chad. All right, pushing along. So you guys are given a carriage and 2 horses, and you're able to yonder
so now we're
yourselves.
pushing?
Well, I mean, if I'm to be honest, I prefer the Chinese radio toy.
I have so many questions, and I don't want to answer.
If you don't know the reference, you don't need to know. But if you do, well.
There's a Okros Easter egg hunt for everybody right there.
Only if he cooks the egg afterwards.
Anyway, you got a carriage and 2 horses. You can now continue along with your original objective. Does anyone remember what your original objective was?
I just need to go to the map so I can actually remember the exact town we're going to.
You're just like, I just need the map, please. Just get me.
Please give me the map.
I actually
I hate to point to it, but like, the things went downhill when Logic left the room.
Yeah, basically.
We were
Huh.
trying to get past some asshole while making our way north.
I thought we were going to Blackstone Keep.
Oh, were we?
Yep.
I thought we wanted to avoid Blackstone Keep. I don't remember. I'm just going to follow you guys. I'm getting in the back of the carriage.
I'm getting in the carriage and I'm shutting up. I'm just here. Originally, it was for you to go to Blackstone Keep because Arwen basically told you that Balder is messing with something that was part of a research group in Blackstone Keep. And that it would probably be good of you to go deal with it, but it was not your main priority. Your main priority was going and getting the other 2 World Stones put together and getting a foothold for the friendly forces that were coming across the water. Arwen suggested that the person that you divert from was Ares, who's in Head Thunder.
Right. I just remember that there was one asshole god to go after and one asshole god to avoid.
Yes.
Thank you for the recap.
You're welcome. No footholds, Cass stole the sock. She is a cat. She does do that.
My cat never stole socks. It just liked to sit on dressers when it knew it could make eye contact with you and then push things on the floor.
She does do that too.
Yep.
It's kind of ridiculous, honestly.
I respect it.
I respect it, he says. Just, yeah. Sounds, yeah. Anyway. So, you guys are in Millruin. Blackstone Keep was a place that you could go next if you wanted to try and stop Balder. And try to fix whatever that was, because Arwen told you that something bad was happening there. He couldn't tell what, but he could tell if there was some weird magic stuff happening. And that probably wouldn't be a bad idea to try and deal with that situation. Whatever the situation may be.
Yeah, basically our plan was to go there, but stop in Millruin to like just get there faster. Like off of
This was
memories,
faster?
everything off of all that.
We're calling
Which,
this
yeah,
faster.
so much faster.
So much faster. I mean,
I'm gonna
it
put
was,
the word
you guys
faster.
left
Be
the
very
Broken
confused by your definition
Spire.
of faster.
You guys got hit by a hurricane. You had to run for shelter. You got into shelter. A dragon fell on top of you. You hid from the dragon. Then you were able to sneak around said dragon. Finally make it to Millruin. Saw all the nonsense. You saw Sheriff Kamapok take a plunger to the mouth. And then you could have just left. But
I regret my decisions during that dragon situation. I remembered afterwards I could speak dragon. Damn it.
oopsie poopsie.
Yeah. Oh well.
Silly
What do you
That's
say? Please don't eat me.
Something like
I'm
that.
sorry.
Be a little more clear.
I want to point out, at what point in D&D have dragons been reasonable?
Chromatic dragons are reasonable.
I was about to say I could probably find a few situations where reason could be applied.
So let me ask you a question. If I told you that you had a 1 in 1,000 chance that the ice cream cone you were eating was made of feces, would you still take those odds?
No, I would throw it at you.
I feel like rolling the dice that you find the one reasonable dragon is not that great, especially when you're hiding underneath where it fell.
Well,
Probably probably
never
sidetrack
known
back
what
on topic.
fun
Sorry.
fact, lore-wise, chromatic metal dragons are usually the most reasonable. They're usually lawful, if not neutral or good. The regular dragons, the ones that are not metallic, that are just chromatic, can be anywhere from neutral to chaotic, depending on their color. Black, red, and green dragons usually tend to be chaotic. But, there's fews and fars in betweens. Silver dragons are, wisdom. Red dragons are fire and aggression. Very much if you play Magic the Gathering, the colors of the dragons kind of match with their demeanor. It's a good, way to remember what the fuck you're dealing with.
Yeah, and that was a green dragon, and green dragons are deceitful.
Yeah, I was gonna say they have poisonous temperaments. Yes.
Yeah. But metallic dragons are usually pretty chill. You just talk with them all day.
Can we keep it?
No.
No. God, no.
Absolutely
The
not.
last thing we need.
Maybe not the green one, at least.
I mean, if you find like a dragonling that's lost its home and you want to try to keep it as a pet, I don't know.
No, still no.
Or
No, I
that's
want-
not
no,
the type of bad
I
dragon
want a
you're looking
dragon
for.
I'm not answering that one.
I want a
The
dragon
fucking
ring.
Rex,
God
shut
damn
up.
it!
I heard that
Uh-oh.
among the chatter, and I hate you for it. And also, Cass, I don't like what you're insinuating by saying, "Can I more than keep it?" I don't like this train of thought. I don't like it. Anyway, where are you guys going? What are you doing? God fucking damn it.
I say we go to Blackstone Keep, and I'm gonna hop in the back of the
I want a
carriage
dragon
and
wing.
try to take a long
Or-
rest.
Aura's gonna go look around for a dragon wing.
You're gonna go look for a dragon wing?
No.
I want a dragon wing now.
You want a dragon wing?
A dragon wing, not a dragon wing. A dragon wing. I want a little bean of a dragon to keep as a
want to
pet, and
find
I
a
shall.
baby dragon?
Yes.
Is that what you
Okay.
want?
We can let her do that, and we'll take the carriage and continue on with the journey.
Okay, so then, Aura, you'll be going to Garmarsh Cavern, a pleasantly titled place, while the rest of you will be going to Blackstone Keep. Is this what you want to do?
I want a dragon wing. Yes.
Oh dear fucking Christ. Okay. So.
And I want a
It
blue
was nice
one.
knowing you.
You literally just beat me to saying it, Nez.
I want a blue one.
You want a blue one? A blue one.
Be
Maybe
sure you tell
silver.
them that.
Silver's
Are
kind
you-
of cool too.
Oh my god.
Just go in the cavern and tell them that.
I'm gonna use. I don't even have to speak with animal anymore.
What? You don't need. Okay then.
We're going to fast forward about 8 hours. All of you are going to have a long rest. As
Creed's
If we're long resting, I need to do a thing.
Creed is piloting, by the way, because
Yes.
apparently everyone else wants to stay in the back.
I haven't been able to conjure my Book of Shadows. I'd like to do that while we're long
that is
resting.
perfect. You can do the thing.
Thank you.
Yep. Because I know you keep forgetting. There it is.
Yes, I do.
So,
Thank you.
yeah, you all have a long rest. It's about 8 hours to one of the split pathways, the pathway leading south towards Goromarsh Cavern.
I want a dragon.
Creed, as you're
I'm probably gonna
piloting,
die. but-
Aura is begging you to go down towards Goromarsh Cavern, at least close enough that she can just simply walk down there herself. You go about 200 feet off the split path and just stop the cart. You're about, I would say, 2 miles from the cavern, if that. And you just tell her, walk.
Actually, I have zero interest in doing that. I'll be honest. Creed has zero interest in doing that. He's going to deliberately gaslight her
Mm-hmm.
into thinking that he's going to go there, and he's going to go as far away from it as possible.
All right. Cool.
Very,
So
very,
here,
very much.
let's-
Dad, can we go to McDonald's? Yes, 100%. We're going to go to McDonald's, 100%. And we're just going further.
Am I able to
Here.
jump out of this?
Here,
Am I able to
let me
jump out of
ask.
this thing?
Hold on. Let me ask these questions. Aura, can you even read a map?
Yes, I think so. I don't know. Was that an ability I was supposed to subscribe to?
How about this? What's your origin? Where'd you grow up?
The water.
Would you be able to read a map?
Probably not.
Okay. So at that point, Creed, roll me deception. At advantage.
I just want a dragon wing. I don't get what I want usually. Let me have one thing.
That's a great start. Dirty 20.
That's rude.
Yeah, that's a dirty 20.
Aura, roll me insight.
Bet. That's another +8er that I have. Just kidding. It's a +4.
Uh-huh.
You know, I have flashed
see
Creed
all
to
of
make it a
that.
24.
And my D&D Beyond first. Pause, please. Insight.
I love these little meetings we have over
6.
6 in total.
Yeah, I don't think I have advantage on that, do I?
No.
No.
So you, for all intents and purposes, believe Creed is going to be getting you to Gore Marsh Cavern. And you don't realize that you're not there until you see Blackstone Keep on the horizon.
I will deadass run away.
You're going to deadass run away.
I want a dragon wing. You have put the idea in my brain, and I want it now.
May I handle this?
Hold on.
Hell out of that.
Let's just hold on. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Listen. I got a book for this. God damn it! Fucking my fucking tables. Actually, no, it's the wrong one. I need my other tables.
You have nobody to blame but yourself. You mentioned I could have a dragon wing, so now I want one.
You could be less trigger happy about going and trying finding a baby dragon. You crazy child.
I want a baby dragon. You wouldn't let me have the horse.
Look, I blame Creed for this situation. We could have dropped her off and been done with this already.
Don't promise me baby animals, and you wouldn't have this problem. I'm a elf.
You know what?
Dragons are
Here's
Well,
what
there's a
happens.
druid.
Hold on.
Never mind.
Oh,
Hold on.
God.
This is what happens. I need somebody, anybody, to clack the rocks together.
Everybody scream.
I need someone to roll me a D100. Please.
Okay, 1 second.
That's a thing.
This does
I don't
not
have an
bode
option
well.
for that.
It's your
Bottom
Is
left.
there an option for it on Owlbear?
best. Yes.
Oh,
Okay, Owlbear. Dice.
There is not an
Assuming that's the
option.
bottom one.
It is the bottom one. Cool. Wonderful.
72.
Very good.
I also rolled, yeah.
I'm
Either
sorry.
potato.
Sorry.
It's
I was
fine.
just trying to figure.
So, Miss Aura.
Got a 9 apparently.
Moist,
Elko's got a 9. I don't like that.
moist elf. Listen to the words that come out of my face. As you jump off the cart to the protests of your party, you run into the woods towards the Gore Marsh, looking for a dragonling to call your own. A beloved baby dragon that you want beyond measure. As you run through the woods, you find yourself going into a valley of sorts, a small crevasse leading down to a flattened area that seems to have a large mound covered in vines that seems to have a almost shiny sheen beneath it. And as you get closer, you hear the deep sound of snoring, of heavy
I want an
breathing
adult
and
dragon.
snoring.
I'm not a
As-
menace. I'm not going to steal a dragon's baby. I just want one that's abandoned.
As you come across a slumbering, ancient gold dragon.
Oh.
In your mind, as a druid, you would know that metallic dragons are usually pretty nice to talk to, and that sometimes they can point you towards what you're looking for. Gold dragons specifically are good for finding prosperous ventures if you ask them nicely, but you need to wake them. This one specifically with a quality joke. And maybe, just maybe, they will follow through with a request. If you ask them nicely.
I'd like to clarify that we're not there with her, right?
Absolutely not.
Cool. Great. Don't want to die because she
Creed,
can't
do
tell
you
a
even
joke.
stop
Thank
the
you.
cart when she jumps out?
Oh yes, I do.
Of course. Okay, very good.
Obviously going to try to find some sort of concealment for whatever is about to happen. And in the meantime, Creed is going to make sure everyone's awake. And what he's going to do afterwards is he's going to go, "Oh, gross! If you wouldn't mind," and he's going to like hold up a mug.
I'm looking for a joke.
Are you asking for coffee or alcohol?
Yes, like coffee.
Okay.
I second
Sorry,
that,
sorry.
actually.
Very well. Okros will hop out of the cart and set up the kitchenette, because I don't think there's enough room in the cart to do so.
Out of context, I'd like to point out how funny I find it that the person who keeps complaining about the kitchenette is the first one to ask for coffee.
Listen, he knows what he's
Okay.
about.
I don't complain about the kitchenette.
I have a joke.
Starting to prepare the coffee.
All right. So, as Okros begins brewing coffee, you all see that Aura is not there, as Creed basically explains that she's in the woods somewhere.
I believe she went down into the woods in an attempt to find an abandoned dragon, so she could have a dragonling.
I have a question then.
If you're going to
After
ask why she's doing it,
No.
I no idea.
I was actually going to ask is, after the dragon kills her, how are we going about recovering her things?
I think it would go down that ask nicely.
Cool.
Um,
Breakfast time.
if all else fails, well, there'll be a nice for whoever goes down the next.
All right. So, as you guys have that pleasant conversation and drink
And I'm just
coffee,
saying, I need 5 more minutes of sleep.
as that whole thing occurs, Aura, what joke do you wish to tell the dragon to try and wake them?
I'm going to gently tap it on the foot, like ever so gently, ever so nicely, because you don't wake an egg. And I'm going to say, Mickey Mouse gets a call from his lawyer. The lawyer tells him, Mickey, I'm sorry, but you can't divorce Minnie just because she's crazy. Mickey responds, I didn't say she was crazy. I said she was fucking goofy.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
How will the dragon know what the heck a Mickey Mouse is?
Listen, for all intents and purposes, we'll just say that it's fine.
Okay, I'm like...
We'll just...
Immediate first question.
It's terrible, but it was the best one on the fucking Reddit page I could find.
Good
Ew,
lord.
oof.
Good lord.
You went to Reddit for a funny joke.
The dragon stirs slightly, opening one eye to look at you, and just going, "What do you want?"
I'm looking to give an orphan / abandoned dragonling a wonderful, loving home so that it doesn't have to be on its own and starve and die.
You woke me to ask about rehoming an abandoned dragonling?
Yes, I apologize. I really want one. If you don't know where one is, that's completely okay. I understand. But it would be very greatly appreciated if you did.
Why would I tell you if I even
What?
did know?
Well, that I'm not sure of, as it is not your responsibility to tell me where to find one. But just know you would be giving a dragonling who may not ever know what love is a wonderful, loving home. Me and my 4 to 5 other compatriots would appreciate it.
He looks at you with disbelief in his eyes. This dragon is easily almost 2,000 years old. And he's looking at you like he just heard just the strangest cacophony of noises come out of your mouth.
Pretty please?
So you want me to tell you where Dragonling is? Now that is a joke worth waking up for.
But I mean, I made you laugh, so it
You
must have been a
did.
good joke.
You did. You made me laugh by asking a question that no mortal would have the gall to ask a dragon as old as me.
Because I really want one. My compatriots told me I was crazy and that I would probably die, but having one means that much to me.
You were either the bravest druid I've ever met or the dumbest.
Depends who you ask.
That's not a good answer.
I mean, I did donkey kick this sand snake thing.
What are you talking about?
There's a creature. That's a story for another time. I am pretty brave sometimes, but I'm also pretty dumb sometimes. It's a little bit of both, if I'm being completely honest with you, Mr. Dragon.
If you are so adamant about finding something, tell me what you're looking for. Give me a better idea than just a dragonling for your keeping. I doubt one of your descent knows anything about dragon keeping.
I can learn. I'm a quick learner, and I would take really good care of it. And then when it's big and old enough and wants to make its own decisions, I would let it fly away if it so chose. I'm not going to hold it hostage.
He just continues to stare at you. Just unblinking as he's like trying to tell you, like, tell him what you want instead of being vague. Because you're just kind of bouncing around the question where they can really only answer specific ones.
Though, so I don't want to bring home a dragon.
Then why are you talking to him about one?
No, because I know there's good dragons out there. I just don't want to pick the wrong one and then it's friggin' psycho.
Okay.
Like, I know the different dragon colors do different things. Fine, I will take... Well, that was aggressive. You said the metallic ones are usually nice.
That's out of character.
That was out of character, yes.
You can take that from context as this 2,000-year-old dragon hasn't just turned you into sushi. Thank you, Zoe. That was my ears.
I don't know any particular what kind of dragonling I want, as you're correct. I don't know much about dragons, but I know you would know that if there's an orphan dragonling that's not going to cause me too many problems, that you would want it to have a loving home.
You speak as if dragons require a home, cared for by others. Here, I'll give you one better.
I mean, an orphan one might.
I would tell you of where you may find one.
That works.
In Trawler's Bay, Beneath the waves, along the pathway leading to the sunken keep, there lies a brood of blue dragons. One that has recently fallen plague to the fishermen that have taken their homes. The demons and imps have raved and rivened their homes to nothing, their food supply turning to nothing but rot and bones. There you may find one beneath the waves if you so wish, but just know, dragons of the blue color are not ones to be trusted easily, nor do they trust easily. Be wary, as they may be the ones guarding the temple from your deceitful nature.
I'm not being deceptive. I'm being honest with you, Mr. Dragon.
You bore me and scare me beyond reason with your ability to assess complex situations. I'm going back to sleep. If you wake me again for such trivial nomenclature, I will kill you where you stand. Am I clear?
Sweet dreams. Yes, Mr. Dragon, sweet dreams, and then I'm going to skip away.
The gall of the mortals. It will never cease to amaze me. I pray that the blue dragons do not have such weak wills. And he lays back down to give himself back to the sleep that he was so lovingly having. As you all see Aura skipping
You just told
out
me
of
to
the
be nice
woodline.
to him.
Can we be having a
didn't tell me he'd be
conversation when she
kind.
comes up?
I'd like to point out that he told you to be nice to him, not talk to him like he was a 3-year-old.
I wasn't talking to him like he was 3-year-old. I was being respectful. He's almost 2,000 years old, if not older. Sorry that my respectful tone of voice seems like I'm talking to a child.
So Aura comes skipping back up to you guys as you're all conversating around the kitchenette, enjoying coffee and snackies.
Hi, guys.
Oh, hey, you're still alive. There's food.
Yeah, can we go to Troller's Bay and look under the waves, possibly, please?
Could you
Hey,
be more
there's one with an
specific than
oak
under
roast.
the waves?
Is this one of those
Nope.
times we're allowed to be rude?
Nope, because if I tell you why, you won't take me.
Already, I was already going to say no. With that,
I'll go by
shall we say
myself.
setup?
Bye, it was
No.
nice knowing you.
No, I want to go get a baby dragon, and that's where the nice gold dragon told me I could find some.
That sounds
You
like a
have
place
something-
to avoid.
What Creed said. I'm in complete agreement with Creed. This is what you've done to me.
But
And we have
Dragonling,
something more important right now. Like,
Dragonling.
So, Creed, the one thing that will stick in your head is the fact that she asked specifically to go to Trawler's Bay, underneath the waves, which is the same words that was given to you by Arwen, as there is a world stone underneath Trawler's Bay.
Oh,
mhm.
where
no,
do you want to go?
The Troller's Bay under the waves, the gold dragon told me that that's where I could find a group of blue dragons that are guarding some, like, I think the stone that we're looking for. But they've been ravaged and pillaged by the fishermen over there, so their food source is depleting, so they're starving. And I need to go help one.
Reed is going to pinch and rub his nose back and forth. We have to go there. But you're not doing anything to the dragon.
But they need help, and I can bring one and help it.
I will.
What if we
You
get
are-
the stone first?
You are your own creature. I truly can't stop you.
You're right.
If you want to
can't. I'm
go
trying
attempt to
compromise.
steal one of their children, I suppose
I would
you
ask
can.
permission and let them. And they would have to let me take it. I'm not just going to take it. I'm not a monster.
If you wish to help them, I will agree to to do what I can to assist. Regarding the young, you're on your own, and all I ask is if you're going to do anything in an effort to convince them, please allow me to be far away.
I'm just gonna ask nicely if there's any dragonlings that are abandoned or orphaned. And if they tell me no, I'll leave them alone. I'm not just gonna take a dragonling that has a loving mother or father.
Nez, give me an intelligence check, please. Very low DC. Just give me an intelligence check, please.
You're the one that said this was an option.
I know. I know.
I got an 11.
Yeah, that's better than the 5. That was the DC for this. As you kind of point out something in the conversation, that dragons don't have mothers and fathers. They're not necessarily orphaned. They're essentially on their own once they come out of the egg.
Like from the get-go.
Like basically from the get-go, very
Yep.
Shark-esque. Like they may have a
Yeah.
like guardian for the first couple years as like they're learning to fly or hunt, but it is very, very, very specific on the species.
So I can literally just grab one.
No, because the species
Wow,
that
now she's
don't-
trying to seal it.
the species that leaves their young alone once they're out of the egg are usually the species that are the most ferocious. Because they're the most dangerous as soon as they come out. Much
well,
like tiger
I
sharks.
wanted a nice one. I wanted a nice one, and you went with my whole I want a blue one.
Uh-huh.
Don't necessarily want a blue one anymore.
Oh,
Okay.
too late.
Like,
Is that your deterrent? Giving me the actual blue one? Is that your deterrent on me getting a dragonling?
Don't wake them up again.
let me think
No,
in
you'll
my
kill me!
head. Let me take a moment to think in my brain of where dragons would be in this region. Listen, you saw a green one crash into a house and it wanted to murder you. You guys actually haven't run into a lot of dragons on this specific region. They actually ran into more dragons in Etheria because that place is not infested by gods and demons. So this one, you may not find a lot of them just kind of fucking around.
I
And
just
they're
get the
probably gonna be
asshole
really
ones.
aggressive if we find them. Yeah. Yeah.
The ones you may actually find that are still putzing around are going to probably be green, black, red, and blue.
And they're all angry, aren't they?
They're all aggressive species because
What
reds
about the
are
gold
going.
guy?
He's too. No one can fucking touch him. He's 2,000 years old. He's an ancient. You know, here, let me pull up just to really put.
No. Does he know where to find gold dragonlings? Would he know that? No, I'm not waking him up again. He'll kill me. Never mind.
Why?
You went in and you poked Mike Tyson in the foot, and you said, "Hey, tell me where I can find a child that's unattended.
So
Please,
let
I'll take care of it
me-
and feed it."
Let me explain this whole situation, just to give you some stats on the ancient gold dragon, just so you can put some numbers to the knowledge. This is for chat too, if you guys are interested. As of the Monster Manual of 2025, ancient gold dragons are metallic, lawful good creatures with an initiative plus 16. They are a CR 24 monster. They have Charisma 28, Constitution 29, Strength 30, and they have an 18 Intelligence, a 17 Wisdom, and a 14 in Dex. A ancient gold dragon has an AC of 22. They are considered gargantuan, and they have 546 hit points on average.
I can actually give kind of a interesting comparison for that, just because it's something I know from when I was screwing around with Baldur's Gate.
Mm-hmm.
The Archdevil of the First Ring of Avernus, Zariel, is CR 26. That's
Yep.
the comparison here. No, leave it alone.
I'm not gonna go bug the shiny gold dude anymore, but now I don't want a dragonling anymore because you guys said they're mean.
It doesn't mean that you can't not make it mean. It's just that what you're dealing with is just not going to be available. That's what's going on.
So I would have to take one and hope it doesn't turn into an asshole, is what you're saying.
You
Well,
could
more
just
like what
go
he's
in.
saying is you take one and hope it doesn't eat you.
It's a baby. It'll take a while before it gets to that size.
A blue dragon wormling is CR3. And you can try and talk with it and try to help it understand things, but it is, eh.
Well, let's just go. We gotta go there anyways. I shall ponder while we drive. Well, Cray drives anyways.
I'm sorry, that was muted. We're going to Blackstone Keep first, though, right?
Yes.
Cool. Just trying to keep the route, the actual route we're taking, memorized through all of this.
So we're going to Bother Balder.
Balder? Yes, they're going to Balder.
Why are we going to Bother Balder? He looks mean.
I mean, that's just the token for him.
Well, it's the same token Ares has, so...
Yeah, because it was for the Godfall. It just made it easier. It's not questioning me.
It's also the same token for Arwen, and he helped us, so yeah.
It's literally just known as the Titan token. It's meant for like Terrasks and stuff. It's just big bad. Anyway, so as you come back and you were told about the blue dragons in Trawler's Bay, as well as the stone that you need to go there, as well as Aura's plan to try and find a wormling for her to kind of love and care for if there is ever a chance to do so, you find yourself sitting outside the border of Blackstone Keep. As you're all sitting there having this conversation, sitting in concealment, sitting in defilade, having coffee and food, and trying to plan on what you are going to do once you get in there, as it's very uncertain of what exactly you're walking into. As Creed, the stories you heard of Blackstone Keep was that a lot of penal troops got sent there and never rotated out.
Oh.
And that whatever was going on down there was very secretive, whatever it may be. And even your leadership asked questions of Blackstone Keep, as Blackstone Keep would ask for different types of soldiers to come and help protect the keep from whatever attacks they kept deeming as highly critical into sensitive situations. The Glass Keep would simply say, no, we're not sending you our own. And so the only thing they could do to really help appease Blackstone Keep from causing a fuss and causing issues between the different military forces within this region would simply rotate penal troops down, and then Blackstone Keep would report that a majority of the penal troopers would perish during some kind of defense, though no report would ever be truly fully given. So, what exactly goes on there? No one's truly certain, which is a problem. And as you're all sitting there having this conversation, Creed, as you're going through your head over all the information you have of weaknesses, potential breach points, anything, you're coming up short. This place has been blacklisted for a very long time. You seeing it is the first time you have actually put eyes on it in your entire career. And then the ground shakes.
I'm more wrapped up with the fact that the Glass Keep, that like, they sent me to my death. They're questioning it. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How bad does it have to be?
Yeah, let that sink in. The command group that wanted to remove you because you were a squeaky wheel is questioning the ethics and like things they're doing in Blackstone Keep.
Sorry, you were talking about the ground crumbling. My brain's still trying to wrap its head around that one.
Yeah. Take a moment. As I kind of lead us into our wrap up, as the ground begins to shake and rumble, At first, you think it's maybe another dragon falling, maybe it's some kind of mountain shifting, maybe it's just a ground quake. But then you feel it grow in intensity. As you look towards Blackstone Keep, that seems to be where the shaking is coming from. You're hearing sirens go off. You're hearing screaming, as in people are shouting orders, trying to get things together, as a beam of light shoots out from the center of it. And being a beam of light is a very, very left-handed way of saying that it looks just like pure energy firing out of it. You're seeing these arcing pieces that are kind of branching off, that are hitting the walls. It's screaming up into the sky. It's separating the clouds and kind of becoming this sheet of chromatic energy that seems to have this orange core and these bright green facets that are all screaming inside of it. And you start to see in the sky itself begin to split as it seems to open, as you are looking at a different sky through where the beam is making what looks to be, for all intents and purposes, a portal. And through that sky, you see different stars, different trees, different colors. And then something starts to come through. And that's where we end our session.
Oh, hell no.
So, with that nice little ending to the scenario we have found ourselves in for episode 36, we had some filler, we had some shenanigans, we had people talking to dragons weird questions, we had people having moral conflicts. It was all a great, wonderful time. And then you guys were very close to exploding, which was awesome for me to watch the clock tick down, because that was terrifying. That was a real nail biter, to be honest. Because Nez, there was a chance where that giant, if Aura hadn't done her thing, he was going to keep you from going down there. He was going to keep you from running. And because you did the things you did, you're able to get around him, and then Aura's able to kind of hustle him back a little bit. Otherwise, you had been kept back. If a couple more rounds of that happened,
It would be crazy if Okros got up there and just immediately threw Nez down the stairs.
Yeah, it's just no. Go, my child.
Literally what I was going to do.
You have the note.
Up there. He happened to be already there, so I was just like, "Oh, perfect. You're needed down there," and I just kept going up. Otherwise, I was gonna run up there, grab him, and eat him at the fucking door.
And you're needed, my child. Be gone! As he just throws you down, just boogada 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 boogada.
That's all I can think is just like rolling down the stairs.
Yo.
Listen,
You're welcome.
For those who didn't catch it, you had 3 minutes on the doomsday clock. And that was the whole thing. So, woo.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. If you're listening, it's when they went down to put the book on the podium. Creed said Clem's name 3 times, and a little orb popped up and called him at his desk. And he went, "How long has the machine been going?" And they said 72 hours. And he went, "Oh, what does the clock say on the wall?" And it said 11:57, 3 minutes to midnight, doomsday clock. And he goes, "Oh, you have 3 minutes before you get shot into the sun. So work quickly."
I have to give credit. Like, I thought, oh, this is just an overreaction. It's because the thing that the vault get mutated. Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, okay.
This wasn't a. Oh yeah, I'm being overprepared. It was like, no, I have things in the vault that no one should ever touch, for any reason whatsoever.
Oh wait, hang on a second. I actually got something for this. Yeah. Continue on. I'll find in the meantime.
Very good. So that is the end of episode 36, where we had a little bit of everything going on and a setup for the Blackstone Keep, which is going to be fun. Because if you ever played Black Mesa, I'm going to leave it at that. Have fun. So, let's do a little breaky downy. A little AAR, so to speak. Mr. Creed, you're looking up something, so I will hold on to you for a moment. We'll do Mr. Darian first. Mr. Zoe.
Sorry, muted. Was reading something. Glad to be moving on from Looney Tune Land. That's definitely an up. Although it was actually pretty fun for overall. Trying to think of a good low point. Probably the point where potentially we all almost get aggroed on by a dragon because someone wants to go get a dragonling. Beyond that, I don't really have anything else.
Listen, that happens at least once per campaign. Don't worry about it.
Fair enough.
You'll get used to my antics. Don't worry.
It's not
I've
even
been
hurt
around
doing
enough.
it sometimes. Just it
You're
happens.
still new.
You're still new. You get used to my bullshittery, she says. Speaking of which,
I haven't been around enough.
Jenna, Miss Aura, your ups and downs for this one, since you are back with us for a moment.
I might be back next week too. We'll see. So my up was learning I could have a dragon wing.
Mm-hmm.
The down would be the fact that my compatriots do not support my wish to have a dragon wing.
Ah, yes, of course.
Oh, I guess another up would be the fact that I managed to be very useful without knowing I was being very useful. Such as, like, this is very in line with the whole donkey kick thing. I did it to preserve myself, and I ended up winning.
It does. Life does happen that way. All right.
Yeah, that's all.
Mr. Nez.
I really did like the part where I walk up and I'm investigating the statue and I'm like, huh, it doesn't look like this one turned alive yet. It just looks like a normal statue right now for the skeleton. And then getting down to where Creed was with the book, where he's just yelling out, "Why is it all this?"
Why are there 14 pages of turnips?
that was some good improv by Blackburn. I will that was A+.
I knew you were gonna say it was full of random notes. I 100% knew you were gonna do that.
Yeah.
There's no way you have some book like this with a person like Clem that is like the Necronomicon. That's gonna be on some shelf tucked away among like boring legal documents.
Oh yeah.
Like
100%.
obscure laws of like anywhere. I was like, this. What do I say that would be unhinged and completely useless? It's gonna
Except
be.
it wouldn't be useless because knowing Clem, he just likes writing in red ink, and he decided he was going to research how to make turnips grow in such a manner that they provide the best red pigment for ink, so he can just use red ink all the time.
Yeah, I was like, what would?
And that's
what would
why he has 14 pages of notes on it, because he just really wanted a really good red ink.
It's called hyperfixation. Look at it. Look it up. It's called hyperfixation.
Yep.
Anything else, Mr. Nez?
And then, like, I tried to seem like I was hyped up on adrenaline when I yelled out the password.
It worked. It worked.
Yeah.
All right.
That'll be it.
All right, Mr. Okros.
I mean, yeah, I enjoyed the turnip improv. I definitely enjoyed just being able to bop Tristan because he's a dipshit.
Yes. Yes, he is.
It's like, you started all of this for what? And literally, he would have, even if his plan succeeded, he would have brought himself back in there in time to then zoop himself and everything inside into the sun after causing everybody else problems.
Yep. Yep. 100%.
But yes, yes. And I enjoyed the whole fucking interaction with the giant skeleton as well, because it's a cool concept. Just giant reinforced skeleton. So like all the weak points reinforced with metal, so you can't just be like, "Yeah, you have no joints anymore."
Yeah, it was like, oh man, this is super fucking weird. Why is it like this? And it starts swinging. So it's like, oh god, it's Radicon of the Golden Order all over again.
Ah.
Oh, fun fact about that skeleton. I statted him before the session because I was trying to figure out a best way to stat him. He's a CR25 giant skeleton. He hit on a plus 14, 400 hit points with a 22 AC.
Oh,
So when you rolled a 21 to hit, he rolled really low.
Yeah, he rolled a 7. Yeah, get boned.
I'll be honest, I would just stay in the basement.
Yeah. The whole idea was that he was probably going to be the only thing you guys were fighting, and I was like, I want something that can essentially resist all of your single point damage. Because the whole idea was like, you're not supposed to fight him, you're supposed to solve the problem. So go solve the puzzle. Go fix the issue.
yeah. They're trying to hold him off long enough for the issue to be fixed.
Yeah. The real funny thing that I really wanted is I actually wanted Creed fighting it. Because Creed, being a paladin, could have used a lot of his paladin stuff. Turn on dead. He could have used radiant damage. He could have done like other stuff on it. The big thing here is that giant skeleton had evasion, first off. So if you hit it with a check spell, it would take no damage if it saved it, and only half damage if it fails it. It had saving throws against all magic. Like, it had advantage on all saving throws. And then on top of that, it could not be turned by turn on dead or similar spells.
And it was a construct, so you couldn't use blight.
Yes.
I'm really glad that my Okros brain was like, I can't read this. You're a paladin. You know books.
You're a paladin. You know books. I go
Look,
Okay,
listen
one
here.
time
There is
or
something up there
one-
that needs punched. I can't be bothered to read.
one time or resorts to physical violence, it works out in her favor.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
the second time.
The second time. All right, and then, of course, last but certainly not least, Mr. Creed.
I guess a high would probably be like watching Aura like smugly walk through the forest to go bother a dragon to try to fight a child. To like take under care was pretty good. I can't really think of any low points. As soon as you're like, yeah, it's this giant skeleton with its joints reinforced, it's like that's gonna be a problem. I'm getting as far away from that as possible. I don't even need to see Chekhov for this one. I'm going downstairs. I fully anticipated as soon as someone did something stupid, predominantly one of us. I thought I was more worried about the hat racks. I'll be honest. I wasn't worried about the skeleton.
There are 6 monk hat racks here.
One of
Be
them
very
was
careful.
annoying enough. Now there's like 6 of them. Okay, and I was like, whatever goes on down here, my odds of survival are higher.
And what's funny,
Plus-
if all of you had just left the room at the same time, nothing would have happened. Because the book would have left the room at the same time as all of you would have left, so it would have no one to attack. It probably would have wound up attacking Aura, because she would have wound up going into the room after you guys, and then would have aggroed her. Yeah, so it's just, it's a weird thing. But yeah.
So, truthfully, how many of you had no faith that I would be coming out of that forest alive?
Me?
If he had asked to
Me.
cut back, I definitely would have. I would have gotten us gambling on it.
Because I'm not sure. The 2 choices I had the people roll for was either a feasting green dragon or a sleeping gold dragon. Those are the 2 choices that were on the crossroads for you.
Oh, what would have been pretty funny though?
What?
Not even a dragon, but it's like a hunter's like pit trap.
Yeah.
and she's like walking along, and all of a sudden you see, and she just falls into a hole in the ground.
You think that?
It's punji trapped. Jesus.
I wasn't saying
you
punji
think,
trap. I'm talking like the hole in the ground with a net on
A
top.
pitfall trap.
Well, when
you
you
think-
said a hunter's trap, like a pit, I instantly thought of a pitfall trap, which has spikes to kill whatever you drop into it, because that's how you hunt with a pitfall trap.
Unrelated. You
You-
totally have another character sheet ready, right? Aura? Unrelated.
You don't think that as soon as I started falling, I would wild shape into something to prevent me from falling?
Depends on how you roll.
Yeah.
True.
I don't have to roll for a wild shape though, do I?
That's-
Unless
no, it's
someone
more
wants
to
You
to
have to
meet me
roll
here.
for reacting in time.
Yeah.
That's one turn
For
of action
shits
is
and
6
giggles.
seconds. Depending on
For
the size of the
shits.
pit, you might fall in a lot less than 6 seconds.
For shits and giggles,
Uh-huh.
what would I roll for that?
So, for shits and giggles, if you were to step into a pitfall trap, and if it was for something that was of the large category, you would have exactly 6 seconds to react before you would fall onto a very bad time. If it was for anything smaller, it would be much shorter, because the distance is shorter, because the creature you're dealing with is much smaller. Medium creatures being 7 foot or less to about 4.5, I think, and then small being 4.5 to like 2, and then 2 and less being tiny. Large being anything upwards of 7 to 14, I think, is about the threshold. I think it's 14 or 15. So like there's a very significant difference. So you would essentially, that if you stepped into it, it would more than likely be a wisdom check to realize what is happening at that instant in time. And so that would be that situation. Depending on how big the trap is, you either have a natural wisdom check, advantage on the wisdom check, or disadvantage, depending on the amount of time you have to react.
So I would roll a wisdom.
Yes, you would roll a wisdom, and it'd be a low DC.
If that would have just happened, 16 is what I would have gotten.
You
If
would
that
have
just
had enough
happened.
time to
5-year-old.
react. Yep, you would have had enough time to react to wild shape out.
Thank you. Come again.
Uh-huh. So, for my ups and downs, it's pretty fun. Pretty interesting watching you guys do Looney Tunes stuff. Giving you guys the Doomsday Clock timer is always interesting. Where I'm like, yeah, problems. And then watching all of your reason and go, man, that's really stupid. Why is it such a deterrent? And then him being like, yeah, the shit in the vault's alive, and all of your faces going, oh shit, all the stuff in the vault is alive. Oh yeah, no, totally shoot this thing into the fucking sun, please. Just absolutely not. Where it's like, it's a staff of Baphomet. It's literally from an archfiend. You really want that coming alive and doing its own thing? Like, it's like, no. Or a fucking wand of disintegration that's stolen from
I'm
a
not-
beholder's eye stalk.
Dude, I
Like-
don't even have to go that far. I go pop culture for that. Like, that's equivalent of, everything coming alive in Warehouse 13 and breaking containment.
Yeah.
You're just like,
Yeah.
you know what? I don't think we need to do that.
That
Just
or
an
like
entire cache of flying laser pistols.
yeah.
I would have 100% ridden that train down, though. Like, I'm making sure this thing's going into the sun. Everyone else needs to get out, because this
Shove
is,
it.
this...
He's found his heroic ending.
You'd run past all the living relic weapons that are trying to kill you as like you pull the book off the podium to trigger the failsafe.
Yeah. I mean,
Just-
I make sure everyone else got out first, but...
Yeah, that'd be a
Yeah.
heroic moment. That'd be how Creed goes out. I can see that. Too bad it didn't happen. Ha! Creed's stuck.
What do you mean too bad?
Creed is one of those characters
Kind
where
of Creed's thing.
he's tired of Destiny calling him, which is why he's super ready to retire once this whole situation's over and done with.
Well, they say a
He's-
general should
Okay.
die with the last shot of the war fired, so...
Yeah.
One second. To put this into terms that Zoe will easily understand, Land of Reeds.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Just
What?
He wants to fall on his own sword. Gotcha.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Creed's been through a lot. For Destiny's been calling him and giving him a lot of shit to deal with. So it's like, that makes sense to go out in that nature. But otherwise, fantastic session, good stuff all the way across the board. And now we've set up Blackstone Keep for you guys to go deal with that nonsense. As you can imagine, Balder's touching something he shouldn't be, and that's a problem.
Giggity.
For everybody.
Stop balding them gates.
Stop baldering them gates, idiot. That's why there's 3 of them. Stop doing it. But that's all I have. Thank you all so much for being here. Of course, we're going to go down our player list really quickly, make sure everyone knows who's who. Of course, we have Mr. Rexus playing Okros, the Linefolk Barbarian.
Hello.
Then we have our dear friend Zokard playing Adarian, the Yonti Warlock.
Hello.
We have our dear friend Mr. Niz being played by Stealth Rage 7.
Heyo.
We have our dear friend Blackburn playing Crete, the Tiefling Paladin.
Pleasure having you as well.
And then lastly, and surely not least, we have our dear friend Jenna playing Aura, the Dryad Druid.
Hello. I'm also Sea Elf.
That's what a Dryad is. Anyway.
I didn't know that. Nobody told me this.
No one
Nobody
said
told
this
me
to
this.
me.
You've always referred to me as a Sea Elf, so I didn't know.
No, he's referred to as a she-elf because he was role-playing an Uruk. No.
And that's where we end, everybody.
Wait, I thought
Good
John
night.
was a tree nymph.
Good God. Why am I
That was a
here?
great way to end it.